Yes, sir.
Mocha, you still good? All right, let's go ahead and get it then. We've been waiting. Strange, what's going
Crush
on
that
with your
echo
boy?
like crazy.
Real nigga, as you should, sir. Strange, what's up? Running on the stakes 8 times out of 10. Your favorite running on Twitch. Joining me today, Demi got reviews.
What up, what up, what up?
Miss Mocha, hello. Introduce yourself to the stream, man. They might not know who you is yet. Who you? Facts. Facts. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good, good, good. So, Last of Us 2 dropped, is it
Hold
last?
on, time out,
What?
time out. Mocha, you gotta allow your voice.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you enable your voice for the stream? For the thing? Because I don't know if they can hear you. Yes, ma'am. Okay, we gonna get it set.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, there. Take your time, man. Take your time. Take your time. Get adjusted over here.
Oh, you done got the gold Cuban?
Oh,
Yeah,
you know. Little,
the gold!
you know, you see,
D&D!
little chump change, little chump change.
Little 3K on your neck.
It is. Yo, King. Let me see if I can hear you on mine. Let me see if I can hear you on mine. All right. All right. Yeah, I don't hear you on my stream either.
Yeah, they can't hear you on Ronin side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Hit the guy button.
What about now?
Let's check.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, active. Check.
All right.
Yep, active. All right, we active. Good. All right. Let's get started. I've been waiting. So, did the game drop last Friday?
Yeah, we could go today.
Last Friday. We can go today. All right, dropped on the 19th. Game dropped on the 19th. Tech, what up? Welcome to the stream, brother. I know how it is.
Hey, Rox, how are you?
Game dropped on the 19th. I don't know about you guys. I was playing Friday. I was playing Thursday at midnight. Thursday at midnight, took off on it, and pretty much that whole entire weekend was get up, work out, stretch, eat, shower, Last of Us 2 for 3-4 hours. Get up, stretch, eat, Last of Us 2, and I pretty much did that all the way up until Saturday, and I beat the game Saturday at like midnight, and I laid in bed until 2 in the morning, just trying to process everything I just fucking watched.
Yeah, so you had like the whole experience with no delays.
I went with no delays. I had an entire empty house. It was just me and the dog here. The dog was laid up next to me. You know what I'm saying? It was good. So Demi, I know you beat it Sunday. I want to say you put in some work on Sunday, if I remember correctly.
It was an 8-hour stream.
Mm-hmm.
And folks said, I woke up early, worked out, got some water in, and I was like, all right, I got time now. Let's get it in. Right. So we just did a solid 8-hour stream.
And finished it on stream. I remember that. Mocha, when did you start and how long did it take you to finish?
I actually didn't start at midnight. I started the minute I woke up Friday morning. I played 11 hours that day. Yeah, I played 11 hours straight. Then I played 4 hours on Saturday. Sunday I didn't play at all. I took a break because I kind of hit a part in the story that I needed to digest.
Okay.
And I was I took a break that day. And then I believe I played 4 hours both Monday and Tuesday, and I had like 2 hours left, and I finished that on Wednesday morning. So it's only been 2 days for me.
Right. So the story's still relatively fresh in our heads. I don't know how much.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know how much of the media you guys have ingested from it yet, or if you guys have went and looked up reviews or gone on the forums, or I don't know. Have you guys done any of that yet between, finishing the game and now?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like opinions are all over the place. Like everyone feels a little bit different about it. It depends on what from person to person.
It's divisive, absolutely. Demi, what about you?
I haven't looked at anything yet. I like to get my opinion off while it's still like fresh off the presses.
Exactly.
Before I look at anything and digest anything else.
Right. I understand completely. Me personally, I I finished the game, and like I said, that entire day at work Sunday, I was just like, I was honestly sick. I'm not even gonna lie. Like Sunday, I didn't even turn on the PS4. I just couldn't. I was like, dog, I don't feel like gaming. I was just like, really like laying on the bed, looking at the ceiling, like, what the fuck just fucking happened? Like, I was traumatized, honestly. I had about a day and a half where I was just traumatized, and I was just processing how I felt about it, the entire product as a whole, like whatever. And just my knee-jerk reaction, and I think it's actually the first question. How would you now that you beat the game, how would you rate it? How I want to do the format, it's always ladies first. So Mocha, I'm going to say ask a question. I want you to answer it first. When you're done, pass it to Demi, and then after you have Demi, I'll go last, if that's cool.
All right, that works for me.
So, like I said, just starting out, first question, your overall review of the game. On a scale of 1 to 5, where would you put The Last of Us 2?
I give it like a 7.5 to an 8.
Okay, out of 5? Jesus, you loved it.
No, you said, out of 1 to 5? I'm tripping. I'm thinking 1 to 10. 1 to 5? A 3.
Mm-hmm. A 3?
A 3.
Okay. Just how everything just, like the combination of the visuals, the storytelling, you know what I'm saying, the gameplay, the 3?
Yeah, because I thought the gameplay was dope. I thought, just how realistic everything was really cool. I also don't think it was extremely predictable. At one point I feel like it kind of was, but it really wasn't. They had some parts, where I kind of didn't see it coming, so I actually thought that was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
The parts that I feel like took the score down for me, I feel like there were some areas where the game kind of dragged a little bit. The pacing wasn't that great for me. I felt like some of the flashbacks were kind of a little bit too long. I feel like they got to the point and then they dragged it out a little bit, and it was kind of a lot of filler that could have been cut out a little bit to make the game less long suffering.
Right.
I feel like there's just some points in the story that I don't agree with. So yeah, overall like a 3.
Okay, I can respect that. Demi, where you at with on, man?
I'm sitting at about a 4 out of 5.
About a 4 out of 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like just like a summary of everything that like Mocha said.
Great story in the first half. I do think the pacing got tattered with how certain stuff in the second act and third act was written poorly. We didn't need some of the relationship stuff. We did need this constant love triangle from Mel.
That's why I brought it down for me. I agree.
Some of the flashbacks with Ellie and Joe were a bit long-winded, but I know why they were there. What else? I have issues with how they introduce the scars and how they introduce the wolves and how they handled that.
Okay.
And just from the second act forward, I just think a lot of stuff was mishandled, and it felt like two different heads were at the lead of this game. But a lot of that stuff outside of the writing is fantastic, and I enjoyed my time. Just they needed to clean that up.
Right.
And you still give it a 4 even with all of that?
Writing aside, a lot of stuff still ranks high with this.
I agree.
I fuck with it.
Oh, and before we move on,
go for it.
The film grain. God, I hate film grain in games. we need to take that out.
Okay. I fuck with it.
All right.
As far as me, I'm gonna give you all both my knee-jerk reaction as soon as I finish the game, and then after I kind of processed a little bit. My initial knee-jerk reaction to the game as I'm watching the credits roll was a 3. 3.5 at most. And I say that because I absolutely love the combat. I love, you forgot, and I think the homie Phenom, I don't know if he's in right now. The homie Phenom said it perfectly. I don't know if he was a tweet or something in Discord where he was like, he forgot how tense The Last of Us was. You know what I'm saying? Like, he forgot, the tension of, you're sneaking around, it's 3-4 people, and, when somebody sees you, you kind of get, this kind of noise, and it's like, fuck, you got to scramble, you got to figure out where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Picking
Right.
people off with the bow and arrow, like the gameplay and all that shit. Beautiful. I fucking loved it. I got into that shit. I really like the encounters with the, you know what I'm saying, the infected too. They had some really fucking cold scenes. We're gonna get into that a little bit later though. Had some really fucking cold scenes, some, you know what I'm saying, some really, into it shit. Um, Visually, the game was fucking awesome. I'm playing on a PS4 Pro, and just like the quality, like the screenshots, like the visuals, just like walking into, and I like that in this game. I'm not saying Last of Us 2 was bland because they put you in a lot of different locales, but there's so much greenery in the light, you know what I'm saying? And when you're in Seattle and when you're going into like the areas with the foliage and shit like that, it's like, and then the sun kind of hitting off the side while you're riding your horse, like visuals fucking slap. Visuals fucking slap. Like visuals had no problem keeping me immersed. I didn't mind the puzzles. The puzzles were just enough, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't out of the blue or anything like that. Exactly. It was like perfect. Use a little bit of common sense. I don't see nobody having to look up a strategy guide to finish the fucking game, you know what I'm saying? Because, majority there, we're there for the content, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, my downside, my drag was the story. The story. And not necessarily, kind of like what Demi said, the first half had me hooked. When that second half kicked off, I said, "Are you fucking serious?" Right? I was hot. And I was
That's
like, okay.
I took a break. I took a break on Sunday. Like, wait.
The second half is where I was like, all right, hopefully this is only last for a little bit. Not knowing I had to spend the next 6 to 8 hours with, which y'all know who. We're going to get into that later. Having to spend the next 6 to 8 hours, I was like, okay, I'm about to start digging, so I'm just going to keep moving forward. But 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10, 3.5 out of 10. After I reviewed, kind of got a little bit more information behind me or whatever, it creeps up to a 4, and I only say that because of the openness and the interpretation. The fact that if a game can get you talking, like I feel like that's a good game. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some people put the game down in the first 2 hours. But if a game can kind of spark, conversation and dialogue, well, I took away this from it, I took away that from it. I feel like it's a game worth, potentially revisiting. But upon my first playthrough of the game, I was like, I'm never gonna play this again. Like I was really ready. I was really ready to get rid of it. But you know what I'm saying?
I don't think I'm playing it over again until PS5.
I can see that. You said you was all in. Okay. I'm reading the comments. I'm catching up. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do questions at the end, Wolf. I don't want to drag y'all on, but we kind of in the role right now. But yeah, I'm definitely, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely, if anything I missed, if y'all want to keep chopping it up after this, after we get through the questions, I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. All right, so we got through number 1. Number 2, are you ready?
That's good.
Mocha.
What?
Were you satisfied with the ending of the game?
All right, now, for me, I have like 2 opinions on the ending.
Okay.
So, part of me, I was happy with the ending because I understood it. I felt like, basically the message of the game was basically, when you go eye for an eye, you both end up blind. Okay, so with what happened, it was a revenge story. Ellie was out for revenge. She lost people, so she was out to, get some type of justice. But upon doing so, she lost everything. And a lot of people feel like Abby didn't lose things either, but I feel like Abby lost just as much. Now, when you look at the fact that, she didn't kill Abby, people feel like justice wasn't served, but when you look at the bigger picture, they both lost everything. In the end, Abby didn't have anybody but Lev. She was looking terrible. Like, she lost Owen. She lost all her friends. She went against the wolves. Yeah, she lost everybody. She had nobody left but Lev. And then at the end, Ellie had nobody left. And the one person she did have left, she lost her too. So it's like they both had nothing. And I feel like when Ellie saw her, she realized that. And she was just like, fuck it. Killing you not gonna fix nothing. It's not gonna bring Joel back. And I also felt like she also knew that killing her would just keep the cycle going. She would either have to kill Lev too, and I know she didn't want to kill a kid, or she would have to, deal with the fact that he could grow up and then he could seek vengeance, and it would just be an endless cycle, and she could have just ended it right there. So I feel like that was part of the reason she wanted to do that. On top of the fact that I feel like when she went back, she really didn't even want to. I feel like she did it because Tommy pressured her. So I feel like her heart wasn't in it no more anyway. Right. So she was half-assing from the beginning. That's why she was almost dead when she got there. So on that point, I understand. I feel like she was like, fuck it, we both lost. Let's just take the L and, move on.
Right.
But on the other side, I do understand why people feel like that it was all for nothing. Because, she beat Joel into his brain fragments around the golf club. So... Facts. And it's like, yeah, she killed everybody, but she didn't kill the person that did it. Meanwhile, Abby killed the person that did it. So I kind of feel like Abby got away with more than what Ellie did, in a sense. So I feel like people feel like, she killed the nigga, but you couldn't kill the nigga. So, so it feels like you were kind of like unsatisfied, and I understand that. Yeah. Also, at the same time, she went through all of that, and whether or not your heart was in it or not, you still went. You still went. You still spent that time doing it. You almost died when you got there. You got your fingers ate off. And at that point, once you get my fingers off, I got to kill you.
Right.
And then not only that, but because of that, she wasn't even able to, play the song that made her feel close to Joel anymore because she didn't have all her fingers. She gave up Dina to be there. So at that point, I feel like, you're not going to kill her because you're going to go home with nothing. At least she got the little boy. You don't have anybody. So at that point, I kind of feel like I understand why people feel like, you made us play this long 25-hour game just for the girl that actually killed Joel to walk away free. It looked like she got off, you know. So I kind of see both sides. And for a minute, I was kind of wishing that there were multiple endings, and that way everybody got what they wanted. If you feel like you understood why she would let her go, then cool, you're happy. But if you feel like, no, I'm not gonna be satisfied until Abby dies, then you're still happy too.
Right.
But I thought about the fact that if they tried to make a third one, how would they do that if there were multiple endings? Like if they made a third one and Abby is alive and you killed Abby, how would they go about doing that? So I feel like they probably did that just so it can, have a starting point for a third game. But that's just my opinion.
Gotcha. Demi, let the chopper loose, bro. Now's your time, brother.
Alright, so I'm going to be directly honest. That entire third act was useless. Useless. Let's talk about it. She got pressured by Tommy to do so and suffer from PTSD. But you know what? I feel like this is where I talk about it being poorly written. What's the point of going back, hunting this woman down, and not letting loose, letting go and turning into what you want to turn into?
After she ate your fingers like penny candy. But yeah, keep going.
That was during the fight. That was during the fight.
That was the fight. That was weird. Okay.
Yeah, that was during the fight. You went through, chased her down, got stabbed by a tree, went through the rattlers, all of this to let her go? Nah. I preferred, and this is me here, I would have preferred if Ellie killed Abby and Lev and turned into the monster that they were hinting at her being.
Right.
Because the game was hinting at her becoming the villain. And I would have preferred that to happen than us getting, just pushed to a point where, oh, we're gonna kill her. Nah, here's a flashback. You're good. You're okay. You're fine. Losing 2 fingers. Can't play Joel's song. Because Ellie literally loses everything. Your friendship with Tommy is gone. You didn't kill the person that killed, the father figure in your life. You just lost a woman. And you can't play guitar. I am not a fan of this ending. I am not a fan of letting Abby live. In fact, I wanted Ellie to go all the way and not only kill Abby, but kill Lev also.
That's dark.
I liked Lev. I was a fan.
That's dark, but I got something to
I
add. I'm
feel
gonna let you wrap up. Then I'm gonna let you wrap up.
Yeah, I wanted bodies to be caught. I wanted Ellie to go into just that dark setting and go all the way with it.
Right.
If she's going to lose everything.
Right.
I don't like the ending. I don't like just how I get it. Say everybody loses type ending, but nobody really lost. Ellie only really lost, if we're really being honest.
But that's only if you're looking at it from Joel versus her dad. If you look at it from including everybody, I feel like they both lost.
They both lost, but at the same time, she lost. Abby lost her father, but Abby only lost friends after that, and she gained somebody right after too. And plus, technically, Mel wasn't her friend because Mel was just dropping her off.
Was fucking the nigga she wanted.
Yeah.
But wait, who did she gain though, other than Lev? That's it. Ellie had Dina. She gave her up willingly.
And Abby's gonna go meet the Fireflies.
Yeah. Point.
So Abby was about to gain again.
Point. Yeah.
Ellie got some sheep and a kid, and Dina and some sheep.
Ellie go back to Jackson though? That's what the I just kind of the conclusion I came to. I felt like she was going to go back to Jackson, and because she did go back, I felt like her relationship with Tommy would have been repaired. You know, because she did what he wanted her to do. So she still got somebody. You know, but I do agree. If you went all that way, you know, and you lost Dina and got your fingers eaten off, you know.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, if that was the capability of you going all the way there, just to say go, nah, we getting blood in the water. We getting blood in the water. And outside of Ellie, you know who also got it bad too? Tommy.
Yep, that's what Tech's saying in the chat. That is exactly what Tech is saying in the chat.
Tommy got it bad too. Lost Joel. Him and Maria on a break. He can barely walk. He's blind in one eye. Bro.
Side note, did anybody else think that Tommy was dead? Like, I was shocked to see him.
I thought Tommy was gone. Like, listen. I'm gonna wait for my turn. Y'all go ahead. Cuphead, boss.
I'm done, bro. I hate that. I hate the ending so bad, so bad.
Okay.
Just that entire third act could be rewritten to me.
Okay.
All right. So, ending. That's ending. I'm gonna talk about the ending, and then I'm gonna double back just a little bit, just like on what y'all said. When I initially finished the game, like I said, I was sick. I was sick over everything Ellie lost to get there, and for her to not confirm the kill. Like, y'all pretty much touched on it. For Ellie to walk away with literally fucking nothing is what hurt the worst. Like, her, like, even like her, like, you know, when you strumming the fucking strings of the fucking shit.
Yeah.
And you hear it like notes being missed because she doesn't have those, you know, those two bottom fingers. Like, it's painful. And you see her just kind of like that somber look. And she just leaves the guitar there and she just goes walking like into the fucking distance. Like, no bullshit, like my heart broke. I was like, bro, it's because you have this backstory of Ellie, you know? We played the original Last of Us, you know, we played Left Behind. We've seen Ellie's journey from where she is to like now. So to see what she's left with at the end is, you know what I'm saying, is the part that fucked me up. Going back to their fight, though, like the fight on the beach, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Ellie to kill Abby. I wanted Abby fucking dead. When we walked up, I've been waiting. When we walked up to the fucking pillars, and I was watching. I don't think Kalia's in here, but I watched her playthrough too after I finished it. And you know the part when you walk down to the pillars and you're looking for Abby, right? Did that take y'all a couple minutes to try to find her?
It did.
Yeah, because you're looking for brolic ponytail Abby. So when you see like the little marker over and it's she's like drained, you know what I'm saying? Not not as big no more. They cut her hair off. It's like, damn, she really been through it. And I seen Ellie pull out the knife and I was like, now stab her in the fucking stomach. Like I was I was hot though. I wanted her going. But she cuts Abby down, she cuts Lev down, and this is like I said, Abby, not Abby. She's already wounded. She did a quick patchwork work on herself as she walked into that last room. One of the riders hit her with a bat in the side, and that probably reopened her wound. So the part that hurt me is there. Two boats. Perfect. There's two boats. Abby and Lev are getting to one boat. Ellie's getting to the other boat. She takes her book bag off, looks down, sees the blood, looks at the blood on her hands, and has the flashback of Joel on the floor. And then looks back at Abby. I was like, let's fucking go. Let's put her in the fucking dirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been waiting. And Ellie walks up and is like, I can't let you go. Abby, I'm not doing this with you. And we see the extremes that Ellie goes to, where she grabs Abby by the hair, throws her in the water, puts the knife to Lev, like, no, you're gonna fight me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how like the entire fight started. And some things I thought about after the fact were, well, and I know Tucker said this multiple times. He's like, you know what I'm saying? He said, "Take a mocap out of Abby arms." I'm not listening to you, nigga. I was doing Abby voiceovers. But the thing that struck me about it is Ellie had her book bag with her, right?
Right.
When Ellie looked down and saw that flashback, all she really had to do was reach in her bag, grab any assortment of her weapons, and just tap Abby in the back of the head, if she wanted it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it speaks to something that Ellie wanted to run her a fair one. You know what I'm saying? And when I say fair one, okay, Abby had been up there for months. So she's dehydrated. She ain't got no strength in her body or whatever. She done lost her gains. Ellie also, however, was critically wounded, but then Ellie did use a knife because Abby's still bigger than her. You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that Ellie wanted to fight. I feel like Ellie wanted that fight because she still had rage to get out. Because I feel like if she had just turned over and just popped her, she wouldn't have been able to get it out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that fight, it was painful to watch. It was painful to participate in. But the entire time, I'm like, Ellie, kill her. Kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her, kill her. Ellie, as you know, Ellie has her fucking underwater, drowning her. Abby bites off her fucking fingers.
Yeah, at that point, I was like, kill her, bruh.
At that point, and of course, at this time, I'm not even thinking about the guitar. I'm just like, yo, she just bit off her fucking fingers. Put this bitch in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? She gotta go. And then Ellie has the flashback of Joel. And when she lets up off of her, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, literally, I yelled this at the fucking screen. What the fuck is happening? Because anytime, you like take a hit, you get like lose a limb or something like that, your adrenaline spikes. The last thing you're thinking about is fucking revenge. You're like going 120 at whatever the fuck you're doing. So I felt like that's the only part that was like, okay, bit my fingers off. Oh, damn, that sucks. I guess I'll let you go. Bullshit. You bite my fingers off, nigga, I'm throttling your shit, dog. I want to see your face change colors. You know what I'm saying? But, and I've seen and read different interpretations of it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, the theme of the game is about revenge. The theme of the game is about revenge, like, forgiveness and da-da-da-da. If I'm holding you underwater, choking the life out of you as you just bit my fingers off, but we down, the forgiveness train going. We're out. Like that's
the only part that I was kind of mixed up about too.
Take that shit down the fucking road. You bite my fingers off, dog. It's a wrap. And I'm gonna just add something else to what y'all said. Like you said, Ellie loses Joel, loses a friendship with Tommy, loses Dina, loses JJ, loses her fingers, and something else that a lot of people didn't notice. Ellie loses her switchblade. And if you played, Last of Us games, and you like read the notes and all that other stuff, that switchblade was the last thing Ellie had from her mother before she went to Marlene. So even in the grand scheme of that, she basically lost her connection to everyone. with like a zeroed out slate. And what I don't like is people spinning like, oh, well, Ellie, Ellie wanted revenge and like, what choice did she have? She was having PTSD flashbacks trying to live a regular life. You know what I'm saying? Like her spirit would not find fucking peace because it was just the way the shit rocked.
Right. So how did you interpret the flashbacks? Because when she was killing her, when she had the bad flashback, she had a second one. Remember when he was actually? I feel like that was her finding peace or something.
It was the way, and I can't spin it like it's my idea, but you know what I'm saying. It's the interpretation of it was. That was the flashback leading into the conversation where Abby was telling Joel, I can never forgive you, but I'd like to try. So certain people took that as, oh, well, she's choosing to forgive. She has to end the cycle. Because kind of like what Demi said. If you kill her and Lim is still alive, you're going to have to kill him. And Demi, something I didn't think about is what you said in the sense of if they had just went full dark on Ellie. Ellie fucking kills her and then caps fucking Lim. Just to be like, okay, now it's no loose ends. Because then Ellie would have went back home, not only the villain, but like, you know what I'm saying, and still lost everything, but she would have had like that kill. You know what I'm saying? But like that's a huge heel turn. But then then some people argue that, you know what I'm saying, Ellie was already the villain in Abby's story and XYZ, but we're gonna get into that later. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. We still got shit to roll down.
But wait, see, that's the point about Lev. When I brought that up earlier, how I was saying that she would have to kill him too. You knew that she wouldn't kill him because she didn't even want to kill a pregnant woman. So I knew she didn't have the heart in her to kill a kid.
And that's the thing. But she did not know Mel was pregnant until after she was bleeding out, and she unzipped the jacket and that's. Funny enough,
so she would have not did it had she known, meaning that she didn't have it in her to really kill kids or pregnant women. So I don't see her killing Lev, which is another reason I feel like was a factor into her letting Abby go.
Okay, I said I wasn't going to touch on this, but I have to touch on that briefly. Like another, like I have a whole segment dedicated to fucking Abby, and I don't want to touch on it yet, but I'm just gonna say the difference between Ellie stabbing Mel, finding out she was pregnant, and literally throwing up because she felt so bad for it, and fucking Abby holding Dina with the fucking machete to her neck, and Ellie says, no, wait, she's pregnant, and Abby says, good, dog. I was like, yo, fuck her, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's like, oh, well, she might have thought Ellie knew that didn't call whatever, but she's pregnant and you say good?
Yeah, I know, but Abby, Abby was more of a killer than Ellie. Ellie was softer. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Ellie had it in her. Abby, we know Abby.
Abby is a fucking sociopath. But we gonna get into that. Like I said, I got a whole section. Wait a minute. We going there.
We gotta get onto that.
Wait. I have one more thing though. While we on the subject of kids,
go for it.
Wasn't there a part in the story where who is she talking to when it was Abby, Mel, it was some guy, was that Manny, when they went on a mission and they were talking about how they kill kids? So they kill kids all the time.
Yep.
They were all crazy.
Exactly. The WLF is I'm gonna save it for the Aggie segment.
All right.
But yes, right. you were on the right track. Demi, this is some shit you wanted to add in or whatever, and I know you kind of look at stuff more on the developer side than I may, or maybe Mocha does as well. I know you said you kind of want to get into the detail and stuff for the game as well.
Yo, there's some portions of the game where I noticed like the technological advancements of gaming. Right. We've gotten to the point where gaming, we can take a shirt off in a cutscene and it's not clipping.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fucking amazing. That impressed me. Just the level of detail in this game and just how much they stepped up. Because I haven't seen this much level of detail that wasn't a Rockstar game be in the forefront of detailing.
In a long time.
In a long time. Just the facial animations and the gore details was amazing.
Dog, shooting somebody's fucking face off, nigga, and then walking up and just seeing they shit opened up like a baked potato, nigga. I love that shit.
Bro, shooting somebody in the leg. in the leg and having them crawl to you, begging for mercy, bro. And you just going crazy on them, bro. Ridiculous, bro.
What were y'all's favorite things about the combat?
About the combat was visceral. The combat was absolutely visceral, and I like that the combat favored Ellie being of a smaller frame, so she had more stabbing, more knife animations and stuff like that. But with Abby shit, you just you just cleaning niggas up if it comes down to it. Abby really putting thumpers on boys, and so with Abby, because she's bigger or whatever, they gave her the stronger kill animations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if when you fighting regular soldiers, if Abby just picked somebody up and just boom they shit, I wouldn't have blinked twice. I would have been like, yeah, I can see that. Like that looks about right. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Ellie's not as whatever. And if you remember in the first Last of Us, a lot of Ellie's kill animations, she was jumping on. She was small. She was smaller. She was jumping on people's back, just into the neck until they died. You know what I'm saying? So that's as far as that information. The first time Abby started nigga phases, swear. So Abby was the new Joel in terms of gameplay. That's true, Ash. That's true.
One of my favorite things is more so the stealth way to play. Mm-hmm. The option of I can now go prone.
Yeah.
And just crawl through things and flank around. And the new trap bombs and arrows and building up silencers and stuff like that, I enjoyed actually playing more quiet than I normally do. Because usually I go in, guns blazing, let's talk. You finna talk to the Glock. But I actually enjoy being quiet and creeping up on people. Plus, I love Ellie's smaller frame and play with her knife kills because she just stab. Run up on you, push you against the wall, stab, slash, and then stab you in the ear, bruh. And I'll be like, oh God, that's so nasty.
Right. So while we on that, something else I like too, when you sneak up on somebody and you grab them, right? And if you a stuff guy, you don't just kill them out in the open. You drag them to a little corner or whatever, right? One thing I fucking I loved it, but it's also fucking hilarious. You would drag them to the corner and they'd be like, you don't know what you're dealing with. Ellie would be like, shut up. It's just stab him in the neck. That shit had me hurting. Because you grab somebody and be like, oh, shut up. Shut the fuck up. You just hitting the jungle. And a little small detail, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when Ellie will stab somebody, right, and bring them down low, and then she flicks the knife out. So it's she stabbed him in the throat, and instead of just pulling the knife out regular, she flicks it forward, so the blood kind of flies out off the knife. Mm-hmm. Just you know what I'm saying? Because you could potentially patch up a little hole in the knife. But if I just, you know what I'm saying, flick that shit out, your whole front of your throat going. It's a wrap, bucko. You know what I'm saying? We'll see you on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very much so attention to detail. One of my favorite things. Details. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things, when you grab someone and use them as a human shield, and just start walking forward, bruh, they wouldn't shoot it first. Right. The wolves or the scars or whoever will not shoot it first, and you just keep walking. But they just fuck it. If he gotta go too, then he gotta go, and they just start shooting back.
Back, right? One thing I was
wow.
Yep. I like that it gave the people because especially when you're killing WLF people, I like that you could shoot somebody and they'll be like Richard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I was gonna touch on that. I like the those minor details. I feel like that was very realistic, the way that they would react and say the names when they kill people. Yeah. And then also, when you kill somebody in a horrific way or you shot them in a real messed up area and the way they would scream and
dog, they were
in pain, I'm like, yo, that would be me in real life screaming like that. That was very real to me. I even caught myself stabbing people, and everywhere I cut them, their shirt would be ripping in that area. I'm like, damn, the details are crazy.
Them fucking gurgles and shit when you slit somebody's throat or you shoot them in the throat, you just hear you know what I'm saying, they shit leaking. And it's
and depending on where you stabbed them, the way the blood came out would be realistic to how it would happen in real life. If you stabbed them in the neck, it would squirt more than when you stab them in the arm or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I used to
Yeah.
just knock noodles back with the shotgun at one point.
Knocking noodles back,
Knocking
boy.
noodles back, bro. I
Okay,
see them heads coming off and bodies just hitting the floor.
all
And
right.
I love killing the dogs. Man, that was
Mm.
fun.
That sounds a
I
little dark.
I listen. Don't
Cause it
don't
was just
report don't
different.
report
It
the
was
stream to
new,
Peter.
man. You know.
But it
I
was
mean, no
and
offense.
no no no
It
no
was
no
just
no
something new.
you
No, you good. I was just like Jesus.
right. But see
Just the way to
and
set stuff.
and that's something we was discussing in the spoiler tab. Where I was like, yo, like the dogs add a whole different mechanic because it's like, oh wait, what you got there,
Right.
boy? And you go into listen mode and you see the trail. It's like, fuck.
Yes.
Leave
But
a bomb.
yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Man, leave a bomb.
Or you peek up over the cut and hit the dog with a bow and arrow, and it's like, oh God, no, because like you see they have like empathy for the dog, but I guess as you leaning down to check the dog out, I already got the bow back again. You finna join them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going together.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
One detail I love when like fighting the dogs, if you kill the owner first, the dog will like get super sad, bro.
Really?
You would hear the whimpers of the you would hear the
Yeah.
whimpers of the dog.
I've never
And then
noticed
Tail
that.
be down and
noises.
everything. That
I've
shit was
never
dope.
noticed that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they do. They do the whimpers. They get super sad, right? And he'll stop moving around for a while and just like sit by the body
Breathe.
of the owner.
No shit. I
was
see.
like,
Now,
what?
now I gotta go back and see that. I did not
You always
fucking know
killed the
that.
dog first, didn't you?
I always kill the dog first because the dog is gonna find me first, typically.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But kill the owner first. The dog literally will sit there with the owner and just grieve it out for a while.
no
I was like, yo,
shit.
It was wow.
Cause I'll be in the fuck like, yo, that's fucked up. Motel cocktail. Whoosh. Fuck y'all niggas.
And another thing I like to do
We move.
when there was a lot of dogs around, I would like go between like both dogs and both owners and throw a bottle, and then once they collected in like a a area, I would throw a Molotov and kill all of them.
Yeah, kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? Make it a group effort. So you always
Exactly,
kill the
save
dog
more
first,
ammo that way.
or hit both with the explosive arrow. Word to Rambo, bruh. Swear. I fuck with it. So next detail. Easter eggs. Did you guys catch any Easter eggs in the game?
Like the PlayStation 3s they had and stuff.
The PlayStation 3s all over the place. I found at least
Yep.
3 or 4 PlayStation 3s, I want to say. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I screenshotted it, but because the game had just dropped, I didn't want to drop the pictures immediately. Yep, PS3 with the Uncharted on the desk. I was like, I screenshotted it, but I was like, let me wait to post it. You know what I'm saying? You said Jack and Daxter game in Ellie Room, Hotline Miami on the Vita. Yep, y'all caught all that shit.
Jack and Daxter on the Vita also.
Oh, yep, there you go. I missed it on my playthrough, but there's an achievement for getting the ancient ring or the something ring. I don't know, did y'all get that?
I got that one.
I did not get that one.
So
I didn't
didn't-
get the ancient artifact, but I found the ring, but I missed the ancient artifact trophy.
So
The
what's
weird artifact or whatever it was.
right? I didn't get that either. But what I thought was dope about the ring, I was watching. Yep, exactly, Wolf. I was watching Breezy's playthrough, and I see she was scrolling through her inventory. I was like, "Oh, you got the ring?" And she was like, "Yeah, I found it, whatever." And she enhanced on the ring, and the ring says "Sic Parvis Magna" on it, which is the ring from Uncharted that Nathan Drake has around his neck. I was like, "That's fucking dope." And Breezy was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that. I just picked it up," and I was like, "Oh, cool, it's a ring." But I was like, "That I like that." They did reference Jurassic Park. I fucking love that too. I definitely love that.
I didn't know what the cars were referencing in the game. I know they're like referencing some type of group. But
The cars were?
that one kind of, yeah, the cars, the superhero cars or the villain cars.
Oh yeah, I mean I think those were just like collectibles, just kind of like in the first game where they had you collecting comic books.
Yeah, I'm like that has to be going over my head some kind of way.
Yeah, I didn't know. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. Y'all say y'all caught the majority of Easter eggs. Did y'all get the when you were down there in the grow house where they went through the porn stash and they was like, oh, what this must have been X-Y-Z's porn stash, and they was reading through the titles and one of them was like Smash Brandy's Hooch, like Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
I was like,
I know you
yo.
changed your name to that. You crazy.
I changed my name to that in Discord. I said Smash Brandy's Cooch. I said that shit slap. Let me change my name in the Discord. Said the coins
Yeah,
is for
I
Abby's
seen that. That
dad.
was wild.
The
They-
coins for all the states. Yep.
I didn't get the coin for every state. I got a lot of them, but not for every state.
Yeah, what I'll probably do is just, wait, and it's probably up right now, one of like the little YouTube jokes where they have all the collectible locations, what chapter to go to, and just go through and snatch until, the shit pops, if I decide to go back. But, I mean, I thought the Easter eggs were dope. Sounds like y'all did too.
I agree.
So, we about to go back into the heavy shit. Y'all good? Y'all ready? Anybody need a bathroom break? Just refresh their drink?
No, we good.
All right, we good. Just making sure. All right. Mocha, start out with you.
How do I feel about Abby?
Not yet. We almost there. The one right before that. Joel's death. Joel's death in the conversation that, Joel, Joel wouldn't have never got caught like that by those hunters. Joel has XYZ amount of time, and he would have never been caught lacking. Go ahead and let it off. Let the chop off. Here we go.
Fuck all of that.
Here we go.
People keep saying he was comfortable. He was in a sanctuary for 4 years. He got older. He wasn't exposed to that life anymore, so he changed. And I call bullshit. Because first of all, in the first game, he lost Sarah, and 20 years passed.
Right.
He met Ellie 20 years later, and he was still as on point as he was 20 years ago. So if he can go 20 years and not change, how the hell he changed in just 4? On top of the fact that no, he wasn't oblivious or growing comfortable, because he went on runs every day. He saw the infected every day, so they had to go keep their territory clean. Like, they're out there. You have to constantly run patrol. You know what the world is like on the outside of those walls. On top of the fact that you've been through more than you went through in the beginning, so you should definitely know from trial and error that you can't be trusting everybody. People keep pointing out that he trusts Sam in the first game, and I'm like, right, so shouldn't he have learned from that and not repeated that mistake?
You talking about Sam and the black guys?
The black guys, right. So
see, even with that, like,
why would he repeat that mistake? On top of the fact that circumstances were different. Right. And the circumstances were different, and there was a scene in the first one when he was riding through with Ellie, and they came across some guys who were pretending to be hurt, and he didn't trust them. But now all of a sudden he's comfortable walking into a room full of people he don't know, letting them all know what his government name is, chilling in the middle of a basement. Not only did he go into their den, they locked the gates behind him. He went into the house. He went into the basement with like 12 people he didn't know standing in the middle of the floor like it was a party or something. Like, Joel wouldn't have did that in the first movie. In the first game, I'm sorry. He wouldn't have did that. So I just don't understand how people are saying that, he changed. No. If anything, is worse. On top of that, he's done more fucked up stuff. So he should be on his toes even more. Like, what makes him think that you can kill all these people and that no one's going to come looking for you? So I feel like, if anything, he should have been more cautious. And it was just a complete 180 versus what they showed us in the first game. How you're going to go from being this really cautious man, you don't trust nobody, to walking into a basement full of strangers you don't know. It just doesn't add up to me. And I don't care what nobody say. Like, no, that was poor writing to me. I feel like they wanted to make the game what it was. They didn't know how to take Joel out, so they just threw something out there that really didn't even go with who he was. And I just don't think that was like good writing. I feel like it was completely out of his character, and it was trash. And on top of that, when they helped Abby in the beginning, why did Tommy just automatically because he wasn't really friendly in the first game, right? I'm trying to remember.
Well, we only saw Tommy in the context of him meeting Joel and then fighting some hunters and then going out to get Ellie when she ran off. That's the only context we knew.
Right, but I'm referring to like when they first ran into their people and how they almost got their head blown off by his fiance. They were supposed to be like badass. We don't trust nobody. Who the fuck are you? How he go from being like that, being their policy and who his people were, to being like, oh hey, my name is Tommy. This is my brother Joel. Like, what the hell did that come from?
Because he got comfortable.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get into it. But Mocha, I'm gonna
So
let you
I
finish.
just don't think it fit. And then I had someone on Twitter the other day told me, oh, there was parts in the game that proved that he got soft over time, like how when they were out for Ellie's birthday and he let her hop over into like let her hop in the window and get into the museum without him
Right.
and stuff like that, and how he was so worried when she ran off and he was like panicking and she didn't even go that far, and that should show how soft he got. But I
But
also I feel like that's wrong though, because
Yeah.
there were scenes that proved that he didn't change. Because in the very last scene, he told Ellie if he could go back, he would do it all over again, meaning that he the same nigga he was 4 years ago. Like, am I wrong? Like, so if he would do that all over again, he ain't changed that much.
I have an opinion, but I feel you. I definitely feel
But
where
yeah,
you're
that's
coming from.
basically it. That's
Okay.
basically it.
Okay. Demi, what you got?
Um, I personally think the way it was handled was a slap in the face.
Yep.
Okay. Go for it.
I didn't like how Joe helps out Abby. They get called lacking in the crib
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
When some like that entire scene threw me off because I'm like, that's the way you kill off one of like gaming's most recent and loved protagonists. Because it could have been handled so much more better.
Right.
So much better.
Right.
And even though I hate the scene and I hate how it happened and I hate how it was handled, it was kind of confirmation and proof that Joe got comfortable. Joe began to get lax. He lost that critical edge he has because he's not on the move anymore. He's chilling at Jackson, fighting off clickers and just doing patrols.
Right.
He's more worried about Ellie possibly dating Jesse and being okay with
Right.
that and somebody calling out her name or something of that sort.
Right.
The guard was dropped and he basically lost who he was in the first game and became the dad he wanted to be before the apocalypse happened.
I'm with you.
So I get the reasoning of why, but they should have symbolized his death better than how it happened.
Now,
They just threw that in there.
Okay. I will come wait, but kind of like a question to both of y'all. Do you feel like Joel deserved a more honorable death, or he felt like to go out? He deserved to go out fighting.
No, I don't think he deserved an honorable death because he wasn't a good person to everybody.
Correct. I'm with you.
I do have a reference though.
Go for it.
I see you said in the chat that that Tommy didn't say what his name was. He did.
Right.
You don't remember when they were I think it was a barn and Joe was pushing the door closed and Tommy asked Abby what her name was. And she said Abby and he said my name is Tommy and this is my brother Joe. He threw them both under the bus.
I thought that I give him when right. I remember what you were talking about, but I thought like when we talk about when they were getting introduced to Abby's people.
No, because remember, Abby told everybody. Because first of all, Tommy told Abby who they were, and then when they got back to the hideout, Owen said, "Who are these people?" And as Abby started to tell them, they cut the camera. And at that point, she told everybody, and I guess it got around the room, and that's why they all started looking at him like that. So if Tommy had never opened his mouth, she would have never knew that was him.
But potentially, you are definitely potentially right. That's more or less within Demi, did you get everything out you need to talk about, Demi?
To answer your question, I do feel like he needed. I want him to go out fighting, bruh.
Right.
Not just to get shot in the leg and get beat on.
Right.
I would like to see him take out like at least two of those dudes before the time changed or anything of the sort.
Right.
But like just for him to snap back into that killer instinct that he once had.
Right.
He didn't have a kneecap. What was he supposed to do? Like right when he
I'm
started
saying
to...
like before getting shot or something, because they were grouping around this man. Like you could tell something's about to pop off.
That the circle, the body language.
Yeah. Plus, I do feel like he should have had like aliases. Tommy and Joe. Y'all don't know these people. Why are you introducing yourself as Tommy and Joe?
Right.
Today, your name is gonna be Chris and Gregory. Like that should be a thing for
Right.
some.
And okay, even to add on to that. Sorry,
You
not to
good?
whatever, but to add on to that, even if you noticed, did you guys when you were doing the early patrols, did you read the logbooks? Like, even I don't think even the logbooks had like full names. They had like J and P. So just in case
Yeah.
anybody found like the logbook and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It was
Hmm.
like okay, we did our rounds, whatever, so and so, J for Joe, whatever. Um, my my takeaway from that, kind of like what the chat said or whatever, and one of the first things like I noticed, especially in the flashbacks and everything else that happened, like even the way Joel like talked to Ellie was softer than the first game. Like when he used to talk to her in the first game, he was like, "Look, we're doing this. Here's what we're doing. Don't talk to me. Don't whatever. Bam." And eventually, like, he really opened up. And at the end of the first game, even when you come out of winter after Ellie kills David, even then, Joel is trying to talk to her. Oh, when we get back, I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar. I'll teach you how to swim, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like started opening up to her like that in that within that last little month. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was kind of dope seeing like them, like the whole process of him just being softer with her and calling her baby girl, and that's something he used to call Sarah. So it's like he
Yeah.
really accepted her into whatever. As far as him, like like I said, the whole getting soft thing for Joel, I do think it was like he was a killer. Of course, he was a killer. He killed people. He used to be a hunter and all this other shit, but his heart was completely closed off. It was pretty much his motto was survival at any means. You know what I'm saying? Him and Tess came to some sort of understanding. We don't know the depths of their relationship or whatever, but they came to some like sort of understanding where they got each other. He didn't really open up in those entire 20 years because when Sarah died, he pretty much fell into darkness. It was whatever it fucking took type of shit, which is why he had no problem robbing and killing people, men, women, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So with Ellie and then being in a safe environment, he did drop his guard. He did get comfortable. He did get, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like a days ago. Yeah, he was still doing hunts and he was still doing patrols, but they already said they hadn't encountered that many people. And the people who they had met out there, they had incorporated into Jackson. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of compare it to Rick from The Walking Dead at one point. Because if you remember, Rick from The Walking Dead at one point when he went savage, just full beard, it was like, fuck, if you're not part of my crew, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I kill you type shit. But there was at one point where they were taking in stragglers, they weren't taking in new people. They kind of learned to open up again and they had a thriving community. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, and I feel you all on the sense that eventually your past comes back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Code names probably would have been smart. When we go out, you know what I'm saying? If we meet anybody, my name Harold, your name Winston, and we'll fill these people out
Harold and
first.
Winston, hold on.
Harold and Winston,
He
you know what I'm
love
saying?
Harold, don't he? And
Yeah.
Harold and
that's his
Harold.
go-to
It
name.
is.
Harold. I'm about to change my Discord name to Ronan, aka Harold.
He love Harold,
Harold
man.
on sticks.
Harold.
I done heard that name plenty
Why you gotta give us
times.
slave names? Yo, one time.
Harold on the sticks, my nigga.
But
That shit
the
cold.
alias is the alias. But yeah, it's you know what I'm saying. Like just like
Question
being.
though.
What's up?
Okay, so you remember when he asked them what they were doing there? I think she told him they were just passing through or whatever. You don't
Right.
think that was a red flag? Just because they always ran patrol and they never came across anybody, you didn't think that he should be like, I wonder what this huge group of people are doing out here.
Not
And they
only
didn't
that,
look like they were dirty and traveling. They were there with a purpose.
right? Not only that, it was a snowstorm out, so potentially they could have got whatever. But it was the fact that Tommy had already been like, oh, well, why don't y'all come back to the town and resupply before you head out? They were really on like their good guy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Joel 4 years ago would have seen fucking a girl getting attacked by some shit and been like, damn, that sucks for her, and kept it fucking pushing. And see that all
Hell
that
yeah.
that entire scene, and I don't know, I feel like it I feel like it affected me a little bit different because it would have been, different if they both, were seeking refuge inside the storm, came to the house, found each other or whatever. But Joel and Tommy actually saved Abby, and Abby still didn't. You know what I'm saying?
I just had a new take that I didn't think about before.
Go for it.
That I'm kind of mad about the ending now in a new way.
Okay.
I'm kind of pissed now.
Okay.
As you were talking about that, it made me think how I said before how Ellie came across Abby at the end and she was like, oh, she's already fucked up. I can let her go, We both lost, and she had a soft heart. Abby didn't feel any type of way after Joel saved her life. He saved her life, and she wasn't like, "Oh, he's a good guy."
Right.
She didn't. She said, "Hell no, I'm finna bash your head in with a golf club."
Exactly, and that's part of the reason. You know what I'm saying? I was on the hashtag Fuck Abby train. If you hashtag Fuck Abby, just see what I'm saying. Put hashtag Fuck Abby in the chat right now. If this I just want to know who my people are real quick. Now we gonna dig into it. Don't get me wrong. This is not a bash Abby stream yet. But if you don't fuck with hashtag Fuck Abby in the chat real quick. But it was also the fact that, you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna get into the Abby segment in a minute. But it was like the no no remorse, no like damn, he really just saved my life. It was straight, you know what I'm saying? It was straight, oh yeah, we were looking for you. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And then just proceeded to the shit. Just to
had that been Ellie, she would have been like, oh, he's a good guy and went home type shit.
Right. But see, and then like going into the Joel's death scene, it was the fact that I don't know, it was I'm trying not to skip ahead on anything, but it was, I guess, like the maliciousness of it. You know what I'm saying? It was shoot him in the leg with a shotgun. Oh no, tourniquet his leg because he's gonna fucking suffer through it. And then it was, her physically beating Joel to death while people held him and people watched. Now, I knew Joel had a bad one coming, and I wasn't okay with it. But the shit that really fucking broke me was the fact Ellie came in, they fucking disarmed Ellie, knocked her down, and they held Ellie down and made her fucking watch it. At that point, everybody in the room was irredeemable. And I know they had a conversation after the fact, we're not here to kill, you know what I'm saying, XYZ, we're not here to whatever. But, like Ellie went from like, Joel, like that's the shit that hurt me. Joel, get up. Joel, fucking get up. And you just see Joel like he's just done. Then Ellie watches as Abby delivers the final hit, watches the motherfucker brain go everywhere. And from there it goes from Joel, get up, please don't do this, to I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill every motherfucker here. And at that point, dog, all I can remember was sitting at the control. I'm sitting here with the controller chanting, I'm about to kill everybody. Everybody's finna fucking die. I'm not finna, this shit not riding. Everybody in this fucking room was like ready to go. I'm ready. In
terms of the way that Joel died, I feel like the only person that felt a bit of his pain was Nora. The way Nora went out was...
But we gonna get to it. I can't wait. The segment we waiting for is right up next though. But it was like I said, it was the maliciousness of not just killing Joel, but killing Joel and holding Ellie down and making her watch it. And you hear Ellie crying and screaming, and it's like, so somebody had to be like, he must know her, or she must know him, or whatever. And they still held her down, made her watch it. The one dude tried to run up on her. She cut him in the face. He goddamn kicked Ellie in the stomach. They knocked her out, left Tommy, and Abby alive. And that's why I'm not a fan of something else that gets said later on in the game. Like, making it seem like, oh, well, I did you a favor by not da-da-da. Bitch, you better had. If you gonna do some shit, like that to me, you had better take me out. Cause, nigga, I'm coming at you full. So anyway.
Question about that scene while you on it.
Okay.
Am I the only one that thinks Ellie took way too long to shoot when she came through that door? She looked for a good minute. They didn't know she was in there. She could have killed Abby. How long do you need to look?
If it was any other cutscene in the game, Ellie probably would have came in, seen that shit, and just started busting. More than likely.
Right. Why did you have to stare? You see it. Okay, now react.
she just would have came in on some John Wick shit. Honestly, Ellie just would have came in. But if it was any other cutscene, because the cutscene where Joel got stabbed at the science center, Ellie wasn't asking no questions. She was just going room to room, pop, 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 pop. You know what I'm saying? Like going through it. But all right. So she should have been busted before she opened the door. Swear. Said Naughty Dog was super sick. I was kind of like Ellie was wild, pulling the door down into this. We gonna get into it. We don't trust me. We gonna get into it. All right. So next segment. We ready. Stream is probably the segment you've been fucking waiting for all night. Mocha, you ready?
Get your popcorn ready.
You ready, ma'am?
Yeah.
Abby, go. Go.
I am team fuck Abby. Now, I can't stand Abby, and let me say, I don't give a fuck about her redemption. I hated how they tried to make her, they went on this whole, how long did we have to play as her? 14 hours? About 10 hours?
We had to play with Abby for about, I would say, 6 to 8 hours.
Okay, yeah, okay. I felt like it was way too damn long. And the whole time they were trying to redeem and justify her killing Joel, and it's no justification for that, because I don't feel like he was in the wrong when he killed her people. Because, yeah, he killed all those people, but he had a right. Because when he got there, they told him they were going to be killing Ellie, and they didn't let him. He was like, you know what? Hell no. I want to go home. And they were like, well, we don't give a fuck what you think. We finna do it anyway. And since you don't agree, we finna kill you. And since he defended himself, you want to get butthurt and try to come kill him later when you were in the wrong because you started it. You should have let him get Ellie and leave. On top of the fact that she didn't consent to being killed. She thought she was going to have a surgery and wake up. They didn't tell her before they put her to sleep that they were going to kill her. How can she consent to that?
That's my point. That's my fucking point.
They were being shicey as hell. They didn't tell her nothing, and they didn't tell him nothing until they already had her on the other side of the damn building.
Man, not to interject, it's still your turn or whatever, but it's the fact that Marlene told Joel out of compassion.
Exactly.
She was, because even Marlene, who had been watching Ellie until, you know what I'm saying, she passed on to Joel, was like, nah, there's got to be another way. There's no other way. Damn, this is fucked up. You know, I got.
All right, well, let's talk about it or something.
Right, and she was like, "All right, well, you know," she was like, "Joe just traveled across the entire U.S. to get her here, and he's at least owed that." And by that one that's one of my favorite scenes. That may be my favorite scene from the first fucking game. That may be my favorite fucking scene from the first fucking game, because Joe just goes straight fucking murder mode. Like,
I mean, wouldn't you? That reminded me of like being a child and your parents told you to do something and you were like, why? And they'd be like, because I said so. They basically told Joel, because we said so. We finna kill her. You don't have a say. We're not gonna ask her if she wanna die. We're not gonna do nothing. You don't have no say so. Right. And he made them pay for being reckless and telling him, fuck your opinion about somebody who felt like a child to him. And now Abby wants to play revenge doctor, which she has the right to because it was her dad, so you know her perspective is different, but he wasn't in the right. So you quit trying to make Joel seem like he was this fucked up person who was just evil and just stopped the world from finding a cure to this fucked up shit, when it wasn't even a guarantee that that surgery was going to get a cure in the first place. There was no guarantee. They were experimenting. There was like no and all be all guarantee either. So I mean, I don't feel like he was wrong at all. I don't. And to try to make Abby seem like she was this good person that was just killing this bad guy, I wasn't with the shits. I wasn't with the shits. I didn't give a damn about Owen. I was tired of that aquarium. I was so damn tired of that aquarium. They could have kept that sex scene. They could have kept that shit. And yo,
from mid-pack.
That was one of the worst sex scenes I've ever seen. Like
the sex scene could have been implied. We didn't need it.
Soft meat.
And then when she woke up the next day and like she was like leaning forward and like It was just like I was just disgusted.
She
Like
was
I didn't care.
She was making Owen look goddamn like her chest was broad as shit. He hit
Alright,
with the bird chest.
So can we talk about it for a second? Not to cut you off, Mocha.
Shoot.
Can we talk about this trash ass sex scene for a second? Honestly,
Streets ain't
because
Streets ain't
alright, so let's be honest. I appreciate the progressive standpoint, Naughty Dog, of all the support you put into the game, but yo, what was that? First of all, let's talk about the build up of that sex scene, of how Owen disses Abby and her father, and then she pushes him up into a locker. At what point does that mean like you just got turned on by getting just hemmed up?
But it was the interesting thing that led to the sex scene, because I think he Owen took digs at Abby and was like, oh wait, you gonna torture him? You know, I know you like to torture people now. You did it, and you seen it was a sore spot for her.
Yeah.
But like,
so
if Abby had like scooped Owen up, and like, you know how you like pick a girl up and you know what I'm saying, you got her legs in either hand. If Abby had done that to Owen, I wouldn't have blinked. I was like, that look about right. I can see that.
Bro,
that's it.
She pushed him into the little locker, and then Owen grabs the back of Abby's hair, and they just look at each other, and I was just like, please don't kiss, please don't kiss, please don't kiss, because I was streaming it, and sources in there, a couple folks is in there, and we're like, it's getting awkward, and it's just they start kissing. And I'm like, all right, cool, they kissing, they gonna fade to black. But that man slide the shirt off. I'm like, oh, bro, and them titties is built for tough. Let's be honest.
And that's what I was referring to, like the next day when she was sitting in the bed and she leaned over, like, you know, as a woman, when you lean forward, like your titties like fall. Man, I didn't see no movement. I was just uncomfortable. Not to like body shame. I don't body shame, but you know, it was just awkward.
No body
shaming, y'all.
But my man's own was like, yeah, we in there, and just slid in with the soft meat and just called it one.
He slid in with the soft meat and was like, the rest of nature will work itself out.
If we get it in, we get it in, and just I'm gonna let God work, bro. Like. Bro, they could have kept that out. They could have kept this entire love triangle out, and I probably would have enjoyed Abby's story more.
Man, I didn't care about the Owen and Mel thing. I promise you.
I can't. Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all keep going. I can't. I gotta take notes for my turn. Just I don't miss doing nothing.
Right,
man, that sex scene just threw me off. I had more to say.
It fucked everybody up.
Man, but I mean, long story short, I didn't
went out
really
on a grant.
And then the fact that they made you like interact with all the people Ellie had already killed and play fetch with the dog and try to make it seem like they were all these good people, how no, they weren't good people, because when you came up on Nora, she talked all that head. And, you know, she deserved to go out the way that she went out. I didn't feel bad about any of those characters. Their deaths didn't move me at all. And I didn't like how they tried to paint Ellie as this bad guy for wanting revenge for Joe, when he did what he had to do because y'all forced his hand. I mean, it was either that or die. And now he's this evil person. Y'all act like he ran up in there and killed y'all for no reason.
Ain't no way. That's a QTE for the sex scene?
No, it's not. Don't say that.
What?
Don't tell me that.
Nah,
that's some ashing and chafing right there.
The sex scene is not a QTE, though. I would have never beat the game. The thing is, I don't think The Last of Us has a true villain. And that's a conversation. That's a conversation down the line. We getting there though. We slowly trekking.
I have a difference of opinion.
We gonna get there. It's a whole subject topic. Mocha, you done with your Abby unpack? You want to throw in the last little fuck Abby at the end?
Basically, yeah. I kind of feel like where Ash is coming from, he's trying to say that, from both their perspective, Joel's the bad guy from her perspective, and you know, vice versa. But no, I don't agree with that, because her dad wasn't this sweet guy that was just trying to save the world. No, he was trying to kill an innocent girl without her consent and without consulting with her guardian about it. So fuck her daddy. On top of the fact, I have a real big pet peeve. Okay, so y'all remember when she was about to kill Joel and she got all in his face and she was like, "Oh, do you know who I am?" And try to remember real good. Okay, first of all, he had never seen you before.
Right.
So he had only seen your dad. You expect him to recognize who you are by looking at your dad for 5 seconds, on top of the fact that he didn't even see his whole face. He had a mask on. He saw your dad's eyeballs. And he pulled out like a scalpel on him. So he looked at your dad's eyes for 5 seconds.
Right.
You blow his kneecap off 4 years later, and you think he's supposed to know who you are?
Right.
That made no sense to me either.
Right.
So,
Right.
But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Demi, let the chopper on, brother.
Alright, so y'all already know, man. I was fuck Abby since I beat it on stream. And I'm gonna still let that rock, regardless.
Okay.
She has literally, outside of a few cool moments in her half of the game, garbage. I did not like that pacing. I didn't like the relationship stuff. Didn't care for anybody on that team, bro. I hate the way this game tries to portray Ellie in a bad light, but gives Abby this green light to be respected. Oh, we're gonna redeem her. We know what just happened in the beginning, but you're gonna love her and her friends. I didn't care for any of that. I didn't care. Did not care for any of that. And the fact that they gave her a redemption arc in front of our faces is the most disgusting thing that I've seen.
Talk your shit, nigga. Talk your shit.
In fact, I'm gonna reference the theater scene alone. Do you mean to tell me she can walk away from breaking Ellie's arms and all that, and just get to live a life in California, killing clickers and all that shit? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I appreciate the gameplay. I appreciate the cold heart. I appreciate, she's been in this shit for a while now. And honest to God, her making a change and being different is so out of place for her character, bro. Oh, she was going AWOL and all this and blah, blah, blah. Get this shit out of here. Apparently now one of the top Scar killers is suddenly now AWOL and blah, blah, blah. But I love Owen and I'm here for Mel. Come on, man. I don't care for none of that shit. I don't want to see that aquarium no more.
Swear.
I was tired of that aquarium. I know I probably missed items. I was tired of being in there.
And I could tell they wanted us to have that as a central plot point and to help us and to make us feel good about her. Because the first introduction we have with Abby is her playing with the bow and arrow and shit like that. And let's score points, and we're here now, and I don't care for none of that, bro. Literally, I wanted, and I'm sorry, Chad, I wanted Abby to die, bro. I just wanted Ellie just to choke the life out of her, bro, and we didn't get that. I absolutely hate this character. It's dope that they got a super tanky, female character on the screen with portrayal and stuff and holding it down. That's fine. Whatever. But she sucked as a character. She was not written great, and I just didn't care for, Joe killed my dad, and we didn't even see you in the first game, and I just thought that was a random doctor.
Yo, and then the fact that every cutscene, you couldn't, whoever she was talking to, they couldn't say 5 words without her bringing up her dad. And it reminded me of, watching Avatar, the way Katara brought up her mom about everything. I'm like, damn, Katara number 2. Everything.
You're
we get
air.
it already.
My mom used to breathe air.
Yo, I get it. I understand. They just tried really hard to redeem her.
Demi, you done? Or you got more?
Fuck Abby.
Fuck Abby.
I'm done.
And on the fuck
Team
Abby.
Fuck Abby.
Team fuck Abby. Okay. So, I've been waiting. Unpack session for the Abby shit. I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, and I'm not nobody. I'm just a Twitch streamer. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow if you're new to the channel. I'm just a Twitch streamer. But if they wanted me to give a fuck about Abby, her character introduction should not have been killing Joel. The main character of the first game that I spent 15, 20 hours for, New Game Plus, all that shit. If you wanted me to truly empathize with her, I feel like, what would have been dope? Is we started The Last of Us 2, have us start out as Abby. Have us start out as Abby through the tutorial mission. Here's how you duck. Here's how you whatever. Here's how you shoot. Here's how you do this. Cool. Build up to the hospital scene. We connect the hospital scene to that, and then potentially flash the current day. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because what they did was they introduced Abby as a villain. And I chat before we get into, I know the parallel you're gonna say, oh well, in Abby story, I don't hear that bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that bullshit. I'm being completely honest with you. Keep it for right now. Keep it. They introduced Abby as a villain.
Right.
We go on this grandstanding fucking journey. Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all how fucking head ass I've been about this fucking stream. I actually googled the distance between Jackson, Wyoming, and Seattle, Washington, from where Ellie traveled to get Allie. By car, it's 13 hours and 10 minutes, right? On foot, it's 285 hours. They have been saying they've been traveling for, a week, 2 weeks, or whatever. You know how much hate you have to have in your heart to set across the fucking apocalypse to go kill somebody? If I can hold that much hate in my heart just to get from point A to point B, just to stab you in the fucking face, I'm gonna stab you in the fucking face when I see you, dog. That's just what it is. But I digress. They introduced Abby on the wrong note. By the time we got to the theater, with Ellie, and they switch us over and we're playing as Abby, I was like, no fucking way. Seriously? I was like, cool. Well, maybe, you know what I'm saying? They'll just have us play for a short amount of time. Maybe they'll have me play as Abby for an hour or two. But the fact that we have to go through 3 full days of Seattle as Abby, it's like, and through the first 12, 13 hours, you I don't know about y'all, but you hold that hate for Abby in your heart. Because every day is okay, where's Abby's crew at? They got pictures lined up on the fucking thing. Okay, I got a map. So-and-so's at the hospital. I'm going to the hospital. So-and-so's at here. I'm going there. So-and-so's at the lookout. I'm going to the lookout. You know what I'm saying? The entire game is hunting fucking Abby. And something that's wild to me, and I'm pretty sure, stream, y'all remember this or whatever. Ellie was prepared to leave without the kill. At the end of day 3 Seattle, after she had killed fucking Owen and Mel, it was like, are you good? They was like, are you good with leaving? We haven't killed Abby. And Ellie was like, I'm going to have to be. Because, like the amount of, between the Dina shit and the amount of blood on her hands, and that's something else that y'all brought up that I've been waiting to get to at this point. Like I said, Abby's a killer. Abby's like stone cold, fucking murder everybody. If you got to shoot kids, whatever, killer. When Ellie is a killer too, but she's more of like a self-defense kind of killer. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we gonna be honest, because in it you notice when Ellie does the big kills, or when she actually starts knocking people off, when she beat Nora to death with the fucking crowbar to get information, like her hands were fucking shaking when she got back to the theater. Like, she was still trying to cope with the dark shit that she was fucking doing. And somebody else, a reviewer, I think, made the point that Ellie was trying to be who Joel and Tommy were. Because,
she tried real hard. And at one point...
But that's not her, which is why she had to regret, and she would feel bad and feel sick to her stomach. Because fucking, in Winter, on the first game, when you get control back of Joel has these motherfuckers tied up, stabs a motherfucking kneecap, and he's like, you need to tell me where I need to go or I'll pop this motherfucker right off. Like, Joel's on his murder shit. He's been doing this shit for years. Ellie hasn't had to that degree. I feel like there's a difference between murdering somebody and torturing somebody. Torturing somebody comes from a darker place to me. Because I can, I can shoot somebody and immediately feel regret from it. But the deed's already done. I pulled the trigger, easy done. You know what I'm saying? But to go through the entire process of fucking torturing somebody is dark. And it takes you down a dark path you can't necessarily come back from. And
biting my fingers off takes me down that path. I'm sorry.
Biting my fingers off would take me down that path as well. You said, I think after Nora thing, yeah. But see, Ellie killing Nora reminded me of Kratos killing Zeus. What you talking about? I want blood. See, you ready for motherfuckers to go? You ready for motherfuckers to go? But see, even the shit, and it's like you guys say, when you switch over to Abby, it tries to frame Ellie as the villain, but it's like in your mind, well, at least in my mind. He said the dark game that people don't understand. Yeah. To be fair, I know people. I don't know anybody, but on the internet, people be like, "Oh, after I saw they killed Joel, I stopped playing. I'll probably never finish this game." This game got into some really dark places, like some really dark places. It's the Ellie couldn't do the trick where you get two people that, yeah, right. You get two people to answer the matchup where it's like point to a spot on the map, and then if your homie don't point to the same spot, we gonna have a fucking problem. That type shit. Ellie tried to do that with Mel and Owen and lost control of the situation. Ended up, and she didn't even kill Owen in cold blood. She accidentally shot Owen. Then fucking Mel reached for the gun and lunged her, and Ellie reacted out of self-defense, stabbed her in the fucking throat. You know what I'm saying? That's the Callie. Yeah, Callie. But that's what I'm saying. We go through that shit with Ellie, and then they try to frame Abby as, oh, she's a good person. Oh, well, she felt empty after whatever, and they were like, her friends started treating her different after she killed Joel. It was like, oh, nobody had ever seen you do nothing like that. People not really fucking with her or whatever. But it's at the end of the day, they gave us too much time with Abby, and it's like they almost tried to force her down your fucking throat. Here's your character. Here's your character. Love her. Y'all love her, right? Look, she's afraid of heights. She's a person like you. Haha. No. I
don't know about y'all, but I got disgusted because when they first made us play as her, at first I'm like, all right, it's gonna be a quick playthrough like the beginning. Right. But then I start collecting like screws and shit, and I'm like, hell no. So I'm gonna be Abby for a minute. When I first started finding manuals and shit, I'm like, wait a minute.
Once I saw her upgrade path, I was like, no fucking way, y'all gonna make me play this.
And you know what the real slap in the face was? Doing it right at the peak of the climax.
At the peak of the climax at the theater, and then you start from scratch almost. Day one scratch.
Bro.
And then they make you go all the way through to get to that point to play as her against Ellie, bro.
When you had to play as her against Ellie, bro, I like my whole stomach dropped. I was like, how is Ellie the boss fight? I thought they was gonna have a scene, they was gonna chase, and then they was gonna switch us back to Ellie. But they really kept
that was one of my favorite moments though to play.
What the boss fight?
Ellie, that was fun to me.
I like the mechanics of the boss fight, but I did not like the boss because it's like you're fighting the character that you're rooting for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then every time they'll get into a little scuffle, and Abby big, so Abby just yank. And Ellie got to roll off, and she walking down trying to stalk her down with the shotgun and shit. You got to throw bottles. I like how they incorporated Ellie going into her backpack and crafting shit, using the bombs. Like they incorporated the boss fight well. Don't get me wrong, but it was hurtful to have to beat on Ellie. Like I didn't like that part. The boss fight itself was dope, but the fact that you're beating on the character that you want to win, it really had me fucking sick. And the last segment when you fucking when she rolls her over, breaks her arm, and she's just punching Ellie in the fucking face. And Dina comes out of nowhere, slashing and shit. She gets on top of Dina, slamming Dina's head into the fucking wood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ellie, stop. She's pregnant. Good. And she get ready to slit her throat, and then Lim jumps in. And see, and that whole segment had me fucking sick. That whole segment had me fucking hot. Dog. And it was the fact that Abby came from almost like a high and mighty place where I let you go one time already and you wasted it. Like what? Like are you fucking serious right now?
Right.
And you wasted it. Like who? Like you just really did me a solid. Like I said, if that was the case. Honestly, you should have just fucking killed me. Because now, guess what? I'm on your fucking ass. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted the canon ending of Ellie blowing her fucking face away with that shotgun. Like,
I'm doing that edit as soon as we get off.
I wish it would have ended with when they got to the theater and when Abby came across her. I feel like it should have been a boss fight. Preferably, I would have wanted Ellie to win, and it should have ended there. And I feel like all Abby's flashbacks should have been in the beginning, like you said. Like if they would have started off showing Abby walking into the surgery room, her dad on the floor. That would have been a dope way to start it. And then we would have understood without them trying to force her down our throat.
Exactly.
Right. You would have been able to connect to her more. It's like they wanted you to connect to her too late for you to care. I mean, some people did, because there's some people that are like, you let Ellie kill you a couple times on purpose. Oh, I saw every death scene, bro. I saw every death scene. The shotgun one is my favorite, honestly. It said would have been satisfying if she had drowned her at the end. Callie, yeah, we covered that already. We just feel like Ellie should have left with something. I understand like the darkness of the shit, and you don't get you don't always get what you want type shit. But for Ellie to leave out with nothing, we went with it. The three of us, at least in the chat, we went with it. I wonder if they were going to show at the hospital. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like the game was improperly
placed
in cutscenes because we didn't figure out the big reveal of Joel killed Abby's father until like in her section in some random flashback when that first beginning.
Like 15 hours in.
Yeah, so I'm like, it should have been placed literally right after Joel and Ellie leave this hospital, and Abby walks in. Then I would have got the whole gist of this, and because it just seemed weird. Like, who are you? Who is this person? Why did they push you in, and then we don't find out till damn near the end of the game what happens? And I'm like, it's terrible like placement and bad writing at that point. If I got to run through a flashback to understand it,
and it's, and it's the pacing of them, like them trying to humanize Abby. Oh, here's a flashback of her and Owen, flirting in the aquarium, and here's a flashback of them talking about the seals. Oh, the seals are spotted. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. When did she die?
And I'm glad they switched it up a little bit, because when we had to play as her, I thought we were going to have to go through like the same process that Ellie did with the days, and I'm like, man, it's going to be kind of hard to finish this. Yeah. But the fact that the missions and everything were a little bit different made it a little bit easier there. Because I don't know about y'all, but I liked running around with Lev. That was one of my favorite parts of the game, when you were going to get the ingredients for Yara's arm, and you had to like run across the build. Like, that was dope to me. I had fun with that part.
I did not like Abby's segment until she gets knocked out day one, and then you're in the forest at night, and she's getting ready to get fucking hung. And then Yara pulls up, and that's when I started. Like, that's when I sat up. I was like, okay, all right, well, so. Well, other than that, I was like, fuck her, dog.
Yes.
Me too. Bro, the Rat King, the whole Rat King shit, dog, had me fucking, I was like, come on. Because through the entire game, you had never seen it fucking infected like that. How she find Joel, Google wasn't working. Come on, nigga. But they said, people talking this time. People have, they're traders, people trade supplies, and that's how Ellie found Abby at the end of the game. I was talking to a trader, and he's, a blonde-haired girl with a ponytail built like an ox. People just talking.
I put some feelers out there, and they gave me this.
Right,
built
exactly.
like an ox.
Exactly. Yep, people just exchange communication through traders and through whatever. That's when a lot of people left, right, so groups talking words, exactly. So, with them trying to humanize Abby, and if you think about if the game had been framed from Abby's point of view, you know what I'm saying? Through it like that, and it's like, yeah, Abby lost, but because we're more connected with Ellie, we're gonna feel like Ellie got the shorter end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of unfortunate how it is. But I struggled with this entire conversation for like the entire time, because. I legit was like, fuck, team fuck Abby. And I tried to see shit from her point of view. And it's just like, she just comes off as like, malicious. You know what I'm saying? To me, at least, Abby's not really a likable character. I was never like, oh yeah, Abby, like, you know what I'm saying? She just, I don't know. Abby didn't fall into your heart the way Joel and Ellie did. So
I agree, and
you
and
know,
I feel like the people that ended up liking her are kind of like suckers. Like that's what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to like her, even though she's a terrible person. Like, don't get out of here with that.
right? And it's like, oh no, nobody wins, and fuck you. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, knock off, bro, knock off. But I get it. I know that Abby, Abby she's a huge sociopath, but you know what I'm saying. People want to see it for like the dynamic and all you guys are, tied to that. Of course, we're tied to the game. It's the second game and whatever. Now, I don't want to use this example, but I'm gonna use it. And Demi, I know you a Halo fan. Imagine the beginning of Halo Infinite, they bring in a new character that kills Master Chief, and then you play through the new character for the rest of the game.
Oh, nigga, I'd be hot. I probably would finish it.
But you see what I'm saying? You bring in, and it's like, oh, well, this is one of the people that Chief did wrong in the past, but you spent so much time with Chief. You spent so much time with his lore, his whatever. It's like you bring somebody in and they kill him within the first 2 hours, and then you have to play as the new character. At least when they brought in Locke, they had Locke kind of run in the mirror with Chief. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't the replacement of Chief. He was an addition to Chief's story. As far as Joel's death, I feel like Joel's death could have potentially, maybe they could have played Joel's death towards the middle. Maybe. Give us a little bit of Ellie, a little bit of Allie, a little bit of Ellie, a little bit of Abby, have Joel die, and then push it forward. You know what I'm saying? So, he said, Dana, great character, Abby, great character, Ellie, great. Yeah. They're all good characters within their aspect, but the game. I'm not gonna spend too much time on Abby, cause fuck Abby, but I don't mean it. So we're like only halfway through the list. We're an hour and a half in. Everybody still good?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna fly through these next ones. We're gonna try to at least. Question number 6: Who was your favorite character in the game?
Joe.
Joel was? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a solid
Joel,
question.
even though he was dead the whole time.
His impact
I
was
really
felt.
liked, what was his name? Jesse. I liked Jesse too.
I liked Jesse too. I liked Jesse too.
Yeah.
I said,
all in all, I really liked Lev. I loved him. I don't know about y'all, but
Callie, all right, man.
I liked Lev. Yeah, he was the only thing I liked about playing as Abby, honestly.
Yeah, I can kind of see as like an Ev. Not Ev. I can see as like an Lev because like they both kind of like with the shit talking. It's like passive aggressive almost. I can see it. Yara too. So like when she got gunned down, ooh, ass.
And not only that, but like why Lev and Yara like ran away to begin with, that was like fucked up too, and it just made me like him even more. That was crazy to me.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I liked him though. I think he was a nice character. I wish he was with Ellie instead of Abby, but whatever.
That would have been nice, huh? Maybe Ellie should have got a companion. Somebody who actually deserved the redemption arc. Anyway, Demi, who's your favorite character?
Favorite character? I got about 3.
Okay, go for it.
First of all, we gonna talk about how much Tommy was a G with that sniper.
Tommy had.
That was one of my favorite parts of the game.
Dog,
that bridge.
He was like, this sniper killed my whole team. I was like, that's fucking Tommy. Let's go. I was there.
And when I put 2 and 2 together, because when you're playing at Ellie, you just heard the guns. You heard them, but you weren't there. Yep. And then when I was like playing as Abby, I'm like, oh shit, this is what Ellie was hearing. So that was kind of fun. It was just fun, just like playing it. To me, I enjoyed it. A lot of people hated that part, but
I loved it.
It wouldn't be The Last of Us without like a sniper point.
Yes.
And something interesting, something I just remembered. Thank you for saying that. Bringing up the sniper part or whatever. When you're playing with Ellie and you're with Jesse, and you hear the sniper shots, and Jesse's like, Ellie, that's got to be Tommy. Let's go. She was like, no, but the boat's right here, so we can go get Abby. And she's like, but Tommy's in danger. Oh, Tommy can take care of himself. And Jesse was like, bruh, like, what are you talking about? He was like, I'm going after Tommy. I hope you get what you for whatever. And at that point, Ellie is so wrapped up in we got to get Abby, that she was like, Tommy got it. And Tommy was kind of under pressure. He was not getting exhausted, but that whole segment was fucking dope. When he shot old boy in the head, and y'all know if you've been to my streams, y'all know I fucks with the sniper shit. So Tommy getting that clean one and the blood flying on Abby's face, I was like, oh,
it was crazy. Yes. And it was so fast. I was like, yo, like it was dope. And then they didn't give you a chance to process it. You had to immediately go into gameplay. It was just exhilarating. So when that happened and then Abby came in and shot Jesse in the face, I was sick about it, but I'm like, okay, they even. They even.
And it fits the eye for an eye theme. Because Jesse just happened to be the first one through the door. It easily could have been Ellie. Jesse just happened to be the first one through the door. And it's just like, wow. And it's just like forgot about. Like nobody really even talks about Jesse after that. Like, and it's just like, fuck. Because that's how it be when people get shot. You got to fucking move. Hey, look.
Listen.
All right. So you said you had three, right? So you had Tommy.
I got to put Jesse on that list because he was a bro. And he was holding it down for a minute. Especially that scene in Seattle. But like, y'all just fucking up wolves back to back. Just you and Jesse just fucking them up. All you hearing is wolves chase him down while you got like a couple squads on you. And you fighting. And all you hear is, yo, he's getting away. He's running down the street. I'm thinking like, oh shit, we finna run into Tommy. That scene where like it's Jesse and he grabs you by the mouth. I'm thinking, oh shit.
Yes, I thought it was Tommy too.
Yes, bro. And I was like, oh shit, there go Tommy. And it's Jesse. I was like, damn, Jesse a shooter like this?
He said Jesse tried to start the car and affected carjacking in the facts. Ooh. And I don't have this on the list, but I meant to talk about it real quick, Demi. I'm gonna give it right back to you as soon as we're done. Right. The bait and switch, where they show the bait and switch, where on the trailer, Ellie turns around and is like, "What are you doing here?" And it shows Joel, and he's like, "You think I'll let you do this alone?" And so, it lured everybody into this false sense of, okay, well, Joel and Ellie are gonna travel again. Joel and Ellie are going whatever. So when Joel got shot in the leg, I was like, okay, cool, somebody's gonna run in to save him, and that's why he's not gonna be with Ellie on the trip. But then you see Joel get beat to death. So it's like, what the fuck? And then they give Jesse that you thought I was going to let you do this on your own scene. And I understand why people are mad, but I like the bait and switch because it really put everybody in a false sense of security where we thought everything was going to be sweet. And then it yanks the rug out from under you and you get those genuine fucking moments. You know what I'm saying?
No. Bro, because when I seen that scene, I was like, Jesse, how the fuck? Oh shit! They just did what Marvel did, bro.
Right. With the scene where they running in the Infinity War scene, right? Where Bruce is Hulk, and so you're looking for that scene the entire movie, and then when the credits show, it's like, what the fuck? So we just got his ass whooped by Thanos?
Like how they showed Thanos having only 2 gems, and it was like, oh okay, but it was perfect. I think they did it really well, and you're right, they got people hyped up for that false sense of security.
Exactly. So Last of Us 2 is the best-selling exclusive. I believe it. Like I said, it's a 4 out of 5 game for me. Well, other than like little quirks and shit that I have, it's a solid experience. If you go in, if you don't have as if you're not gonna overinvest in the characters and you're not going whatever, it's a solid game. I'm glad I played it at the end of the day. But then you said you had one more character.
Before we go on that, I don't think it's a masterpiece like everybody puts it.
Right.
Because it has its flaws.
Right.
But it's solid for what it is. But
that's why I rated it like a 3.5.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Our last character, Dina. I liked her.
I like Dina too. I really like Dina. I like, and like kind of more important than that, I liked Dina for Ellie. Like Dina was just like sharp enough, just quirky enough that like her and Ellie fit. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people, they had to force out the guys for LGBT. Like, that shit doesn't bother me. Like, you can be a strong gay character. You can be a strong, trans character. As long as you're a well-written character, it's not going to bother me. You know what I'm saying? Give me the gameplay. Make me like you. Make me want to invest in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I thought
I
like all that
agree.
relationship shit was super cute, bro.
That's
Right.
why I was sick when she left her at the end. I'm like, please don't go. You don't even want to go, man. Just, you know.
That
The only thing that
scene,
had me leaning towards her
That
going was
scene
the
was hard.
PTSD.
yeah, right, exactly. It was because, like I said, her soul wasn't settled. She was having trouble sleeping, and just like how Ellie kind of put it in Tommy's lap in the beginning, it was the parallel of that with Tommy putting it in Ellie's lap. Well, I'm hurt, so you have to go. You promised me this, and it's like, oh no, I can't, I can't do it. He's like, what a fucking joke. And like, I don't know why, but it's like, especially after you've already seen the scene of Tommy and Ellie hunting together, and he's teaching her how to snipe, and you see that they're close, and him just being like, what a fucking joke. And it's just like, it's like, a family member wounding you closely. And you're just kind of,
Mm-hmm.
I like how the camera kind of pans, so Ellie just kind of has the sick face, and Dina's like, hey, Tommy, hey, well, what the fuck was that? Don't come in here with that shit. Da, 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 da. Like, what I'm saying? You see Tommy's like, he's like a shell of his former self. He's like, he's a broken fucking guy. And he's kind of counting on a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, you know what I'm saying, to clean up his fucking mess. You were so on edge because I didn't want Ellie to die. Facts, dog.
Same.
The fucking. Now,
And
you know what? My bad, my bad. Go ahead. I
this
have something else
this
to add, but go
scene
ahead.
this scene, bro, those scenes like, gee, they was like giving me chills because I was like, bro, they really gonna do it.
They
They're
twist,
really gonna try to kill Ellie.
they twist the knife, bro. They twist the fucking knife. Some shit. And Demi, I think I talked to you about this privately. Um, there's a scene in the fucking fight. In the fight with Abby and Ellie. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but Ellie bites Abby. And so even though Abby left them a fucking mess on the floor, I was like, wait a minute. If Ellie bit her, potentially will Abby turn? And this is just me kind of thinking like in the moment or whatever, because I was like, Ellie has connected to the virus. But then of course later on I thought about it and I was like, oh well, Ellie's immune. She doesn't actually have the virus. She doesn't have the shit. She's just immune to the spores and stuff like that. But here was my fucking fear. The fear of being on the fucking farm, because the farm scene, depending on if you don't know where to go or whatever, it can play out. It can be kind of long, right?
Mm-hmm.
My fear was Ellie bit Abby. Abby ended up turning, and now Lim was gonna be in the barn waiting for Ellie, and Ellie had the baby with her. That was my fucking fear. That was my fucking fear. Because it was like, oh, well, what are you doing back here with the little baby lamb? I thought Lim was gonna come out with the bow and arrow, like, oh, you bit her and she turned and it's your fault. And Ellie had the baby strapped across her fucking chest, and I was gonna be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then the PTSD shit kicked in, and which was fucking terrifying as is, because it's one thing having a fucking nightmare. Like Abby was having nightmares about trying to run into the room to save her dad or whatever. Ellie just middle of the day fucking PTSD, just out of the fucking blue, and it's like you can't control it. You don't know when it's gonna hit, whatever. It's like, how can you live like that? You can't live like that. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be some kind of peace. And I just hate the fact that Ellie's peace cost her everything. The attempt to grab her piece cost her everything. You know what I'm saying? So
Agreed.
so that was my thing. We kind of get back on a topic, whatever. As far as my favorite characters, I really like Dina. Like I said, I really like Dina. Ellie, honestly, Ellie was my favorite character. Ellie was the character I was rooting for to win, and I think probably that's why the ending hurt me so much, because I was rooting for Ellie to win the entire time. I wanted Ellie to, you know what I'm saying, to get through her darkness, and all she found was more fucking darkness. So that, what I'm saying, that was kind of meh. Um, I'm gonna run it back to you, Mocha. What was your favorite scene in the game? Like your favorite cutscene, if you had a favorite cutscene.
Favorite cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have like
Yeah, yeah, run through
some
it.
that are like neck to neck, but they're all the cutscenes where Ellie was playing the guitar.
Yes,
It's between the
yes,
one when she played for Dina for me, and
yes,
then the other one when she was in an auditorium and she was trying to sing it and she broke down.
yes,
Those are my
yes.
top two favorite moments, definitely.
Fucking yes. Did you know that scene, the scene where Ellie does "Take on Me"? Did you know that was optional? Like some people missed that.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
So they didn't open the guitar or whatever?
Some people didn't go into the music shop.
What?
Because I went and breathed. Yes, it was, yeah, bro, it was optional. Like, I found it, like, I clipped it and recorded it. I was like, yo, I fucking love this.
I'm mad I didn't clip it.
I'm mad
I didn't.
I went in Breezy stream and I was like, what did you think of the guitar thing? She was like, what guitar thing? I was like, in the music shop. She was like, oh, I must have missed that. I was like, what? Like, that shit.
What? Bro.
That was one of the fucking scenes in the game. I feel like that, I don't know. It's just like the entire tie-up of that fucking scene is like, But yeah, that scene is missing.
I loved it. Yeah, because that was in downtown Seattle, right? I guess people didn't check that building.
Yeah, people didn't check that bit. Yeah, it was in downtown. The beauty part was dope, and the Nora part, right? Well, what Nora part, Tech? Just in case, since spent like 2 hours trying to play Last of Us Part 1 theme. That's dope. That's dope. I do like the fact that they let you kind of freestyle on the guitar too. I thought that was pretty cool. You said so it was that scene. You said those two scenes, both the guitar scenes.
Yeah, I liked both of those most definitely. We're talking about like sentimental, right? Or just any scene. The Nora fucking chase was that was some. Because I liked that too.
Ellie
Chasing her was fun.
Ass, dog. Ellie was on her.
The bridge
ass.
was fun. So the sniper point.
Yes.
From me. Both of those scenes with Ellie. I also liked the Nora scene. Chasing her was fun. Killing her was very fun. And I liked when you first came across Lev and Yara, and they like beat her arm like with that hammer, and you were running through the woods with that fire torch, and how realistic it looked when she was holding her arm and the way it was just flailing around. That shit was crazy to me.
Yes, that entire fucking segment, like that entire segment at night with the fucking
that was dope to me.
With the fucking scars, though, and like the chat was saying fucking earlier, just like even Ellie's intro scene to the scars, when you just hear the whistle and then Ellie just gets hit in the fucking arm with an arrow, and you're like, what the fuck? And you just see these motherfuckers in camo just coming up with bows and arrows. She was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is stuff.
And I thought it was dope that until you pulled the arrow out, your health kept deteriorating. Like, it gave me like Metal Gear flashbacks. Like back in the day, like if you would run through some water, you had to like heal yourself, with leak shits and stuff. That was dope.
Right.
Yeah, so I like that too. But I mean, I feel like the game had a lot of strong points. Most definitely.
It definitely did. Demi, what you got now?
My favorite scene, personally, really personally, the hospital scene with Abby.
Okay, the flashback when Abby's younger.
No. When it goes full Resident Evil. And
with the Rat King.
Yes.
Boy. That scene had me on the edge of my fucking seat, bruh.
Bruh, we're jumping, dodging, diving, then the floor breaks. And I'm expecting like I didn't expect we're actually gonna have a boss fight, but it's there.
Right.
And so I'm just watching, I'm just, holy shit, this thing is huge. How are we going to destroy this? And now you got to come up with a game plan, and this thing is rushing and breaking through walls, so you don't have that much time to craft. You're constantly like just trying to walk up and shoot with the shotgun or whatever shot that you have. Bruh, that scene was like mind-blowing.
Bruh.
Because it shows you what can become of the cordyceps.
Yep.
Once it like fully evolves.
And like I said, they was like, she was in Nora let Abby know before she went down there. She was like, what's down there? It's pretty much day one outbreak. So that shit's been down there the longest. And it's just like, okay, I know it's going to be some infected down here. It might be a bloater down here, but you're not expecting nothing like that. You're just fucking not. Like, anybody who said they knew that part was coming or saw that part coming is full of shit. Because you...
No. One more if I could add is remember the scene where Ellie and Joel are in the hotel?
Yeah, the hotel.
Yeah, and they're sliding through the wall, trying to get to the next point.
That's one of mine. That's one of mine.
Yes. Yes.
The fucking blow, like Ellie hits a pipe or something, and all you hear is doom,
Yes.
doom, 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 and he reaches through the wall and grabs her. Like I was like, what? I actually have that
I
scene clipped.
forgot about that
I have that
part.
scene clipped. I'm posting that shit tonight.
I
Yes.
jumped, yo, when
Yes.
that happened.
Yo,
Scene was
yo,
fucking fire, dude.
yo, that scene was fucking everything. I don't know if it played out the same for you guys, but at the end of that scene, like the bloater that like rushes you, and you know the bloater's like kill animation from the first Last of Us, like where he like
Hmm.
grabs both sides of your jaw and just opens your shit up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened for y'all, but for me, he hit me with a rush attack and went to like open Ellie's shit up to kill her, and Joel just comes out the cut with a machete and just yeah, 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 like it's like,
Yeah.
whoo, that scene was
I forgot a
fucking.
part I thought was fucking dope, and you were playing as Abby when it happened.
Which one? The bloater in the arcade was
Right
dope
after
too.
she
It was
lost her backpack, and you had to fight that big black guy with the fire all in the back.
in the village, and she just rips his mouth
Yo,
open, and he's still
yes, and they
fighting.
showed it in details. I let him kill me like 2 times just so I can get clips. Like, I'm like, go ahead, bro. I gotta screenshot this. Like,
That's crazy.
it was crazy. The graphics were crazy.
No.
And when she grabbed his mouth, I thought she was gonna like rip his jaw in half. I was like, oh shit, don't do it.
That fight, and honestly, for me, I liked the fight with the Sarah fighting Brute, the big lady who's like a lunch lady with the pigtails, and she just got a sledgehammer, and Abby just got a hand, and Abby's like, "You got on my backpack?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
And
was funny.
And like, I got the PlayStation Platinum headphones. So the dodge animation, when she swings and you miss, you hear the motherfucker whoosh. You hear that shit in your headphones. So it's just like, like you're in it. Like you're so involved, and it's just like a one-on-one. She like dips off and just pop, pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? Wait for her. Boo, boo, duck, duck, pop, 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 pop. It was like, yo, I really like those fucking segments. He said when them hammer shots connect, boy.
Mm-hmm.
You're dead immediately. Dead.
He said he was choking the shit out of that. Yeah, them shits was tough. As far as scenes for me, y'all pretty much touched on some of my favorite ones. The bloater scene when Joel and Ellie would go get the guitar strings. Um, anytime Ellie involved the fucking guitar. I'm trying to think of one we didn't cover. I think we covered a bunch of the dope ones. The sniper segment with Tommy was fucking fire. Um, the Rat King, of course. I think that one's at the top of everybody's fucking list right now. The shit with the Rat King.
I got like 2 more.
Go for it.
2 when you're done.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you sure?
I think y'all said mine already.
I don't think anybody else was like as sad as I was at the end when she came home to the empty house.
That was one not necessarily. I say favorite, but it's like yeah, it's
as
a
far
heavy
as like
scene.
emotional triggers for me.
Yeah.
That one was very emotionally triggering, and then it was another one
Watch them turn and kill each
that
other.
was sad.
I think I saw that
After
one.
Joe died and she went into the house to get his watch, and as she was walking around, they had it where she was like wiping her eyes and stuff and looking at his clothes, and then she smelled his jacket. I was like, ugh.
Those were fucking heavy. I actually a couple of days ago, and this guitar she couldn't play took me out, bro. That scene really hit me on the fucking, that shit hit me in the chest, bro. Like any scene with Abby and Joel is 10 out of 10 to me. I actually, like I said, a couple of days ago, I just went on YouTube and I rewatched Joel's death scene, and I got sick, like that sick thing in your stomach. I got that all over again watching that shit. I was like, yeah, that shit, it's still raw. I'm gonna need a minute. You said when she went through her stuff, it hit me hard. That turned off someone's stream watching that. Yeah, that grief hits you different. But do y'all remember the scene with the not the Shamblers, the fucking Stalkers, where
Yes.
Ellie's in the building and a stalker like rushes Ellie and she's like pinned on the side of the shit, and then like the side of the building, and then like the glass gives way and Ellie falls from like the building, like the 5th floor, into the water, and then she's struggling not to drown, like just like,
yeah, that was fun.
them fucking moments that just had your heart goddamn pumping. But we got through that
And
shit.
I don't know
pretty well.
about y'all, but I'm scared of heights. So playing as Abby and having to walk across like the very top of that skyscraper had me
Right.
shook.
Yeah.
Like you could
Yeah.
hear the wind and everything. Like my heart
Mm-hmm.
was pounding. I was like, oh my god. Then your controller would start vibrating when you were tilting.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit.
Right.
Like
And what's funny is that I know team fuck Abby, but like you can kind of relate to her if nothing else, at least at that point.
yeah, that height, like woo. I didn't like playing that part, but it was fun at the same time. So I was
Right.
conflicted.
You had to get all the way down to ground level. Exactly. Yeah, they did the hell out of that scene. Okay, so we kind of covered favorite scenes. You guys have a favorite encounter? The difference between a scene and an encounter is like, for the scene for the most part, it's like, cut scenes, stuff like that. Encounters like any like segment where it's like you against the AI, or like like for example, the first segment where you fight the Seraphites or the Scars, or like the encounter where Jesse's driving the truck and Ellie's fucking on the side popping shit. Y'all have like any one of those you can think of? Clickers versus WLF, that shit real.
Um, I think we pretty much touched on them already.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked fighting that guy in the village. I liked the sniper point, even though you were going against Tommy. That was like really fun to me. Chasing him down that bridge.
Oh, that shit was crazy. I love that part.
Definitely one of my favorite moments for sure.
I definitely
And
love that part.
also at the very beginning when you were playing as Abby and you were running from them hordes,
Yes.
like that was fun to me. That was very fun.
They had some dope chase scenes. I think Wolf said
Yeah.
it too when when Ellie and there's so many words. When Ellie and Dina were in the sewers and Ellie's mask had cracked and Dina was panicking and Ellie was like, no, 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 I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Because Dina was like, no, no, we can share a mask, we can whatever. She's like, no, I'm good. I told you, I'm immune. And just like the chase scene where like the infected are running and they're running and Ellie stops to fucking kill one. Ellie gets her ankle gets grabbed on the elevator. Dina comes and shoots one in the head and they keep moving. Yeah, but Naughty Dog does some fuck out of some chase scenes. The Uncharted chase scene we're at the shipping dock, bro. Flames, fucking
I liked when you were
flames.
sneaking up on Nora too, and she was playing Ice Cube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that was fire.
But see, Nora was disrespectful. Nora did not give not one fuck, bro. She was super disrespectful, and you could tell even then Ellie was like hesitant to pull the trigger, or she was, I'm not gonna say Ellie was all talk, but you know what I'm saying. It took a lot for Ellie to start, swinging, or because Ellie could have popped that bitch in the leg, and you know what I'm
She
saying.
deserved everything she got. Nora, she talked a bunch of trash.
Oh yeah, it was like fuck you and that bitch ass old man, and da-da-da. It was like by the time we called Nora, I was like, oh yeah, you finna die, like. At the risk,
And
of
the way
course.
they made her look, like her veins and everything was popping out after she had
Yes,
been breathing that bacteria.
yes,
Oh, the
yes.
details of that whole
And
scene had me
and
shook.
and Ellie walking up without a mask on, and she's like, "Why aren't you? Oh, you're her. You're so like you know what I'm saying." It's like they knew there was somebody who was like immune, but they didn't know it was like Ellie. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was also an interesting kind of thing. Right,
Hmm.
exactly. She was shook when she seen Ellie breathe spores. So we covered that already. We covered most of the stuff already. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I got a bunch of extra shit, but we don't need to go through all of it.
Oh wait, I
Go
got
ahead.
before you go ahead. I
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
favorite encounter.
Go for it.
When you first get the crossbow with Abby,
Okay, I remember that. Is that on?
I
Is that on the
liked
ship?
that's on the ship,
Okay, okay, okay.
and you begin to learn the story of what happened on the ship and
Mm-hmm.
how people were turning like into clickers and runners and stuff, and a bunch of them weren't infected; they
Right.
were just getting shot.
Yep.
I think I was when I read that and uncovered that little story, I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Plus, that
Mm-hmm.
crossbow was fire because it's basically indestructible. The arrows.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the fact that I think with the crossbow they were like it was something with the crossbow where it was like it's like you can collect arrows more easily. And no, no, no.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was like you can collect arrows from bodies more easily because Ellie's arrows will more than likely break, but Ellie had the ability to craft arrows on the go. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Headshots you get it back exactly, exactly, exactly. I like that segment too. Like reading the lore and shit, and it's like, oh, we're next door neighbors. The combination is my number and your number. We can share food and whatever, whatever. And Like the one guy who kept leaving like notes for his girlfriend, but then he got like involved with the cult. And he decided to go with them.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So,
that Jules guy.
yep. They did that. I like that. Their group was taking fucking nudes with Polaroids and shit. Taking Polaroid nudes in the apocalypse, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm on patrol, but this is waiting for you when you get back. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, creative. I fuck with it. But like I said, I'm not gonna hold y'all all night. We've been at it for about 2 hours. So I'm gonna end it with this. This is gonna kind of be our last question. Um, the cost of revenge is it ever worth it? Because eye for the eye make a whole world blind. If you want to get revenge, get two, prepare to date two grades X Y Z. Is it worth it? Is revenge worth it for you? Would you go on a journey like that, and would you kill even if you knew you couldn't bring that other person back?
Yeah, depending on okay. I feel like it depends on what's at stake. So in the beginning, I feel like it was worth it.
Hmm.
When we got to the end and she was about to lose her whole family and everything, I
Hmm.
feel like it wasn't. They had settled down, they had a baby and stuff. So I feel like at that
Right.
point it wasn't. However,
Right.
when she got there and she got her fingers bit off, I felt like okay, now it is again.
Right.
So I mean, I can't let nobody walk after that. So even though I understand the ending and I'm not mad at it, I just wish you were able to decide which one you wanted to, have.
Right. Right. So at the end of the day, and Mocha, this question still to you, I guess. Um, was Ellie's journey in vain because she didn't kill Abby? Like, should she have not left at all if she wasn't gonna kill Abby?
Yeah, I think so because why leave your family, lose your family, and lose two fingers to not kill her?
Hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, to
Hmm.
me personally, she would have had to die.
Right.
If it was me, she would have had to die, and Lev would have had to die by association. I'm sorry, he would have had to die too because you're not gonna come back later.
Oh,
Um,
I'm surprised that y'all a team killed Lev. And you know what's funny?
I
Like,
love Lev, but he
as
had to
much as
die because he would have came back.
he definitely would have came back, and like that's the thing. Like, as much as I think about it, like I don't know. As much as I can imagine scenarios for for this conversation, I honestly, in my heart, never imagined being like, you know what, kill Lev too. Like, I don't know, it just never crossed my mind. So, if she
Abby
wasn't
was
gonna
all
do
he
it, she should
had
have stayed
left.
home. Lev absolutely would have came for. Oh, absolutely. You see, I already seen Lev was with the shits. I think she was ready to
He
kill
lost his
until the triple
mom
F
and
went to take
Yara.
him. Hmm. Abby hit a whole McFinger. All right, well, get out, bro. Get the fuck out. Ate a whole
Is the
McFinger.
cost of revenge worth it?
Is the cost of revenge worth it, bro? Because I don't think of like I don't know your favorite revenge story, right?
Right.
And the way I saw people kind of sum it up in the comments was they was like think about if John Marston never killed Micah, like if he would have did all that shit, shot all those people to get to Micah, and I know Dutch killed Micah, but you know what I'm saying? Think about if he had done all that shit to let him go. Think about in Kill Bill if the bride would have killed her way to Bill, got the bill, and then decided, no, I'm not gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Would that affect? You know what I'm saying? Right. Would that affect your right? Exactly. Would that affect your view on revenge? Would you have seen it as a forgiveness story after she slaughtered the Crazy 88, the entire Deadly Viper assassination thing? She didn't kill everybody, but you know what I'm saying? More or less, the events turned to it where whatever. You know what I'm saying? He said you want your money back, right? So regardless of how you see The Last of Us, honestly, regardless of how you see The Last of Us, it's framed as a revenge story. So to not get your revenge in the end, you're gonna feel hollow. It's gonna feel empty. Your main character lost more than she whatever. And like you
Yeah.
said, so I don't know, it's open to interpretation. But on one hand, you said the thing that was the bride never had nothing to lose. That's a solid point. That's a very solid point. That's a good way to think about it. I didn't consider that option.
And this is where I go back to where Naughty Dog misleaded
Right.
with how they were directing this game. We were
Right.
promised a revenge story, but if you really look at it,
Right.
Ellie never got her revenge, just Abby.
Right.
And it was time for Ellie to get that revenge. They wussed out. Honestly, she was going through that Carol moment from The Walking Dead where Carol decided, oh, I don't want to kill anymore.
Right.
And I think it's goofy. If you're going to start the game off with somebody getting revenge, you finish the game off with somebody getting revenge.
Go.
The door closes on revenge and opens back up and closes again when Ellie finishes it off.
Right.
I feel like they were trying to paint it as they were even since Joel and the dad was dead, but I feel like they weren't even in that scenario.
Not at all.
Because I feel like, in a sense, like Abby still had her peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's like almost, it's like, if we went through out, it sounds bad. It sounds bad, but I want Abby to suffer a little bit more. Maybe I would have felt a little bit more empathetic towards Abby if we had seen her suffering on screen. But you know what I'm saying? We're watching Ellie suffer in real time, but Abby suffers off screen. Like, it doesn't have the same emotional connection. Just like you bringing in Abby later to the story, I don't have as much a connection with her as I do with Ellie. You know what I'm saying? Ellie only has left in the world because Ellie killed all her friends. Yeah, I mean, shit. But yeah, that's true.
I think they're even in the fact that they both lost everything. But when it comes to like, if you're looking at like a game of chess, they both lost a lot of pawns. But I feel like Abby killed the king and Ellie didn't.
And the game's over when you kill the king.
Yeah.
Right.
But Ellie going back and Naughty Dog pushing Ellie to go back, and nothing came to fruition from that. I think it truly was a waste of time.
They could have ended it at the farm. I wouldn't have been mad with that.
And you know what? I thought they were gonna end it at the farm. I swore the game was getting ready to end at the farm until the farm segment dragged out a little bit too long, and I was like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck did I miss? That this game's not fucking over yet. Why am I not seeing the title crawl? You know what I'm saying? But there's that. But see, okay, and that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Ellie having to kill her own people from the wolf farm shit had nothing to do with Ellie. And it's going to sound bad.
She did that for less.
She did that of her own accord. And something that kind of bothered me. And it's gonna sound bad, but fuck it, it's me. Y'all already know I'm not the greatest motherfucker in the world. It kind of bothered me that Abby did not even know Ellie was in town until day 3. Ellie had been literally tearing through the fucking wolf territory, killing people, killed Nora, killed whatever, and Abby was so wrapped up in her own shit, she didn't even know that Ellie had killed all these other people.
She was fucking on.
Abby did not even find out that Ellie was there until she showed up at the theater after her killing fucking, Mel and Owen. And that was another scene that was like, rough because, Jesse runs through the door, Abby pops him. And she's like, get up, and Ellie stands up. And there's like this kind of look on Abby's face where she recognizes Ellie. And it's like, oh shit. You're the person that, we let live back in whatever, which is when she goes into the, we let you people live and like, Let's see, I knew it when she tossed the honey in the water, Loki, in my opinion. But that's the thing, with the scenes with Tommy happened so fast, I don't think that Abby had time to recognize who that was. Because Abby was never in a full standoff with Tommy. It was like, catch a glimpse from him running around, ducking sniper shots. She never got a full, like, head-on view of Tommy, I don't think. Which is why she still looks so fucking confused. But, maybe. But, yeah, that was kind of interesting. But,
I want to revert back to the question that Ash had asked.
Okay.
I think there is a villain in this game.
Go for it. Who?
They're technically both villains.
I mean, that's kind of one of the things where everybody's the villain in somebody's story. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Joe was justified, so I don't think he was a villain. They came for him.
No, not Joe. Ellie and Abby are both villains.
That's what I'm saying, though. How is Ellie a villain when she's just trying to get revenge for somebody who didn't even do anything wrong?
But she could be seen as a villain, as they're looking at her, antagonizing them, and Abby can be seen antagonizing Ellie and your friends.
Yeah.
They're technically
both villains. I'm not saying it because we're not antagonizing you. We was chilling, trying to go about our day. Y'all tried to force us to, do some shit we didn't want to do. I defended myself, and now you come looking for me. I mean, you should have left me alone. I wouldn't have killed your daddy. He shouldn't have tried to cut me open with a scalpel when I was trying to come pick Ellie off the table. He wouldn't have had to die.
I hear you. But it's like I understand your point. Like I trust me, I get it. But try explaining that to 15-year-old Abby. Oh, well, your dad had to die because she gonna be like, fuck it, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, this motherfucker. And what's crazy is, I guess, like the ripple effect of Joel kills the doctor, and they said he was probably one of the only few surgeons that they knew of that could have even done the procedure. So he took the cure, quote unquote, aka Ellie, took the cure and killed, and killed the only doctor that's capable of doing it. Discredited the Fireflies. The entire Fireflies of that region broke up. Abby and Owen were all the motherfuckers were misplaced, and they ended up falling into the WLF. WLF is run by Isaac. And you see how the people in WLF are living. They're living in a football stadium. They got a mess hall. They got a gym. They living straight. But then you go to the camps and they got scars put up in chains and they're torturing them. These motherfuckers haven't eaten in weeks.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like the wolves are not sweet, but that's who they fell in with after the Fireflies woke up. And then
Fireflies wasn't sweet.
The Fireflies weren't sweet, and that's something else, a point that nobody really brings up. The Fireflies were basically terrorists. They were bombing government institutions, and what I'm saying, they were anarchists, low key.
And trying to kill a little girl without telling her.
And they did it in the name. You're right. The Fireflies were terrorists, and they did it in the name of whatever. And even with the Ellie shit, and I had this conversation in Discord, and the guys were like, "Oh, well, Ellie would have said yeah," but it's like you can't. In the age of consent, he or she would have said yeah is not good enough, my nigga. It's not. In the age of consent, unless it's, okay, here's what's going on, here are the stakes, do you want to do this?
And also, I don't give a damn what you willing to do. Am I willing to do it? It ain't your choice to make. I don't give a damn.
It's not.
And they
didn't
give her a choice to begin with.
They didn't. Ellie, like I said, and I bring that up. Ellie is still unconscious when they bring her to the hospital, and they get ready to start surgery. She's here. Let's get it. Like, Ellie couldn't say goodbye to Joel. She couldn't, make a decision. She didn't have a day to think about it. They was gonna open her the fuck up right there on the table. He said, but
and they didn't tell him until they took her and had her on the other side of the building. So I fuck her daddy. Like, if he felt like he was the world's last hope, he should have sat his ass down somewhere and not been trying to pull a scalpel out on a nigga with a backpack full of weapons. Should have sat down somewhere. I wouldn't have had to kill you.
Now, to be fair to Abby's dad, like, he didn't know what the fuck he was getting into, and he regretted the decision. He was not happy about the decision, but he was like, it's literally the only way to do it. And you know what I'm saying? But like I said, them rushing into surgery or them whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of
that was on some sneaky shit to me. They were being sneaky.
Depending on how to do it, like, you know what I'm saying? The ethics committee in the apocalypse. I mean, like Demi said, that's pretty much all apocalyptic based. Look at Fallout. You can be as bad or as good as you want to be in Fallout. There's no rules. So if there's no rules, you dictate yourself the best way you see fit. And that's kind of where you end up, depending on what end of the spectrum. I feel like, because anybody can justify their actions with enough mental gymnastics. Oh, I did this because so and so. I did this because you did whatever.
Also, you gotta look at it from Joel's perspective. He lost Sarah, and he didn't have a say. He felt like he finally found another, someone who felt like a child to him, and he finally had a say.
And had a say, and had the power to pull it off.
Exactly.
I'm with it.
And then Abby saying, I would let you do it, and that's the thing. She would have had a choice. Ellie didn't have a choice.
That's it.
They have an extremely flawed plan in the first game when it comes to the science side of things.
Oh yeah,
you have the only immune patient you have, and you're going to risk killing her to try to make a vaccine.
Exactly.
That may not even work.
To attempt to make a vaccine.
Coin toss. And there was no guarantee.
And if you read the files and shit, they say that it's a chance that it can be whatever. because they could fuck it up and be like, oh damn, killed her. We didn't get the vaccine. Whole trip was for nothing. Joel he wasn't willing to risk Ellie on a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it wasn't a risk. He was sacrificing her. Fuck a risk.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
She was going to die on a chance.
So,
you could literally do plasma or blood therapy in that type of sense and make it work from there.
Right. That's and like I said, this conversation I had with Phenom. He's like, oh, we just have XYZ to run tests and all that other shit. I'm like, but they didn't have the ability to run tests, but they had the ability to reverse engineer a vaccine and then mass distribute it. No.
They don't have nothing for mass production.
They had nothing like that. If I had the cure to the fucking zombie apocalypse and there's 1 billion zombies outside and that shit is in the one tube right here, what the fuck am I going to do with it?
Yeah, they were out of pocket. I'm sorry. You reap what you sow.
With limited supplies. And then to take it a step further than that, right? The Fireflies were a small group. After the doctor died, they disbanded, which means they couldn't have been that fucking many of them as is. So y'all don't have none of the materials on hand to even pull this shit off. And y'all going off of a maybe.
Come on, not to mention, they probably still would have ran into somebody.
Like they could have done that shit and ran into a group of fucking hunters, nigga. And guess what?
Exactly.
GG, nigga.
Also, you know what bothered me since we're on the topic of this?
Go ahead.
I hate that they built up Isaac and they built up the woman that started the scars.
Yep.
And we only seen just a smidgen of Isaac in the game and never seen the cult leader.
Yep. You're right.
And they were hinting bad, like, oh, we're going directly to the island, never seen it. And also, we get introduced to the Rattlers and don't even get a chance to see like them fully in action like that.
We don't. But since we talking about the Rattlers, can we talk about how Lev got his shit rocked?
Yes, let's discuss.
That nigga got cleaned up, and I hated it for Lev, but at the same time, game to game. Hey, Beast, if you're not happy, my nigga, you can definitely leave the stream, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody holding you here, G. You been sitting here for 2 hours, mad? The fuck? You been sitting for 2 hours, mad. Hate to see it.
That man got that naughty dog.
I mean,
slobbing.
Damn. Sat here for 2 hours and got banned. Damn, you can relate to Ellie more than anybody else. Did the whole journey and got nothing out of it. Hate to see it.
Damn.
Game to game, but that's what it is, though. That's what it is. But I don't know. That's funny to me because he really sat here the entire time and hated it, but kept watching the stream. That's what I like, bro. Give me my numbers. During survive out the chat, swear. Lost your fingers. Hate to see it, bro. I hope they remember you. But I'm sitting here looking through the photo galleries and shit. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't none of the shit was foolproof. We went through this entire fucking journey, man. I feel like it was worth it to play the game. I love the conversation behind the game. I love the fact we can sit here for 2.5 hours and discuss the lore of the game. Source, and I know you right here because you know what I'm saying, brought out the blade for me. I appreciate you. When the next Dragon Age drops, man, we will more than likely be on an UNPACK stream together, letting the chopper loose, and I'm so excited for it. Because we like Demi, you remember we was at C2, me, you, and Source Demi had a lore deep dive.
Yep.
at the table over chicken wings. But by the way, Mocha, next joint we go to, you better be there, man. We need you there, shouty.
Inquisition not even that bad though.
I didn't think Inquisition was bad. I know. I remember Source telling me her issue with it, but Inquisition wasn't bad. Inquisition was not a bad game at all.
Ellie looks like Kurt Cobain in that one picture you went past.
Not this one. Hold on, I'm clicking back. I see it. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, you can see it. Oh man, Rob was in the stream. So they didn't. I don't know if y'all was there for what happened. Well, y'all wasn't. Okay. But I got to the end, and I uninstalled The Last of Us 2 on stream.
Holy shit.
Cause I was getting mad, bro. Like,
What?
I was letting the chopper go. Yeah, Smoke. I was pissed. That ending pissed me off, and I started to rant. And I'm hearing like the ether beat in the back of my head, and I'm just going in, and I feel it. And then I'm like, oh, I can't start ranting, y'all. My bad. It's been 8 hours, so I've been holding y'all here. But I wasn't pleased. Cause I was like, yo, fuck this game.
Fuck Jay-Z.
Naughty Dog, I paid $60 for this.
So y'all absolutely hate it, right? Y'all hate it.
What, the game?
No, the ending. Just no dispute. You hate it.
I
get it, but
I hated it. I hated it on the knee-jerk reaction to it. My very first reaction, I hated it. After I gave it a little bit of time, I'm not okay with it, but I understand it. But I don't love it because I love the characters, so I don't necessarily love it. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I get it, but
I'm indifferent.
I just felt like it could have been done better. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but it wasn't bad. It's a fucking journey. Don't get me wrong. It's a fucking journey. But
I agree. I don't hate it because I understand it, but I wish I could have killed her if I wanted to.
Right. Yeah. I get it.
I was heated, bro. I live uninstalled the game.
Bruh.
I was hot. I was like, what's this bullshit?
I saw a clip of someone on Twitter who took the game out his PlayStation on stream and snapped it in half.
I ain't doing all that. That's all by digital anyway, but I wouldn't do all that. Because I think that's a lot.
Some of that could have been for streaming theatrics.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of this concept art is
I
interesting.
see who ain't playing New Game Plus.
I may do it for collectibles, but I'm not. I don't know. It's still. You know what? The just this unpack session right here. I've been holding this in for a long time. So I appreciate y'all being in the stream. You know what I'm saying? Kicking it with me, letting me kind of unpack with y'all. Y'all, unpacking with me. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of needed. Not even finna flex. While we closing out, do y'all have any last minute?
I think we touched on everything I wanted to talk about.
Touched on everything.
Kind of all on the same page, I feel like, for the most part.
For the most part. Demi, anything?
I may try to play that one guitar song on my acoustic when I get a chance.
That would be dope. I was actually thinking about teaching Zoe guitar or trying to learn guitar so I could teach her guitar. I'll learn it so you know what I'm saying, so I can teach her kind of deal. So
definitely. Yeah, I might go through it because I missed the very first safe in the beginning on accident. I got into like combat and then I ended up getting locked out and I couldn't go back. So I definitely might at least run through the first half an hour just to get that and get that trophy.
Is that that was the one at the bank? Because I didn't get the one at the bank either.
No, the very beginning when she was like, "Oh, the code is the day that my little baby won Employee of the Month." Is in that very first building during the snowstorm.
Yeah, I missed that.
Patrol with Dina.
I missed that one too. I definitely missed that one.
That's the only one I missed. Yeah, I think I got a lot of them though. Like I got the one at the end when you had to like win the sharpshooter competition.
I won the shooting competition and I won the bow competition.
Me too.
Yeah, I won both.
So I'm gonna get a guitar, have Joel flashback, basically, bro. Basically. All right. So y'all ready to wrap up?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
All right. Yeah. Well, we pretty much done, man. Like I said, I appreciate y'all pulling through the stream and kicking it with me, showing love, man. Make sure if I got a mod, can I get a shout out for Demi and for Mocha for kicking it with me for 2.5 hours and unpacking The Last of Us? Me running through this Henny is greatly appreciated. It's greatly appreciated. Now I can kind of put some of these thoughts to rest a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel like you have closure.
I have closure. I have the closure I wish Ellie had.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Az. I appreciate it. All right, I'm actually about to get on Overwatch. I don't know if I'm gonna stream
I
it.
might finish Blair Witch on stream a little bit. I'm at the end,
Okay.
so I have
Well,
like an hour
I'll
left.
be up
That's something
late,
I need to start.
so we'll be right. Yeah,
It's
Az.
free on Game Pass, Demi. That's why I'm playing it.
Yeah, I got it. I just need
Wait,
to sit
what's
down and start it.
what's the problem, Az? What's up?
And thank you, Karen, for
I
the
think Ash
host.
just
I
has an
appreciate
Overwatch
it.
problem.
You do have an Overwatch problem.
I
Wolf,
don't know
you
how to
can't do it.
touch that game in
You're
3
not a
years.
mod, brother. Overwatch is the problem. Sounds about right. I'm about to join you on said problem in a minute. Give me like 10 and I'll send party invites out. But all right, we gonna cut
All right,
stream,
good
guys.
night, y'all. It's
Thank
been
you.
real.
Thank you guys for pulling up. I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all take care. Have a good one.
You gotta stay amazing.
All right,
Of
y'all too.
course. Latest.